were placed outside the Democratic and Republican headquarters. Brian Cole was arrested and charged earlier this month. He allegedly told investigators he was protesting the outcome of the 2020 election. CBS's Jake Rosen.
The government is arguing that because of this confession, that Brian Cole needs to be detained ahead of trial. Now, this is one of the biggest cases that was outstanding for the FBI when President Trump took over. We know that Kash Patel and former Deputy Director Dan Bongino, who's soon to depart, have made this a really big priority of theirs to solve this.
Cole's lawyers argue he's lived without incident for the past 4 years. A newly unsealed order in the criminal case against Kilmar Abreu Garcia reveals that high-level Justice Department officials pushed for his indictment only after he was mistakenly deported and then ordered returned to the U.S. He has pleaded not guilty to charges of human smuggling and is seeking to have his case dismissed on the grounds the prosecution is vindictive. Tatiana Schlossberg, the granddaughter of President John F. Kennedy, has died. She was 35 years old and revealed in November she had terminal cancer. A powerful storm that's sweeping across the northern U.S. may bring a very quiet New Year's Eve celebration in some places where it's just too difficult to get out. CBS's Ian Lee is in Syracuse, New York.
There's a winter storm warning here until tomorrow morning, but this snow isn't expected to stop until New Year's Day. We had about 16 inches. They anticipate 18 inches in total, but I think we're going to blow past that with just the snow coming down. And it can be quite chaotic here at times. You don't know if it's snowing or if it's just the wind, which is just howling, whipping up all these flakes and throwing them in the air.
Carter Evans is following the story of a bear who has taken up residence at a home in Altadena, California, and won't leave.
There is a crawl space. Many people have them on their houses here where you can get underneath the house. These are raised foundation houses. And that bear broke into the crawl space, and it's been inside there for more than a month now. He's tried to get it out. He's got cameras set up. It does come out from time to time. When the bear smells that people are around, it doesn't want to come out. So he doesn't want anyone around. He wants to give that bear every opportunity to get out from under his house.
Minutes from the Fed meeting earlier this month were released today and show some federal officials who supported cutting a key interest rate did so with reservations. The minutes underscored the deep division within the committee over what constitutes the biggest threat to the economy. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Take the next step forward in your career with great benefits and an award-winning workplace. Apply at careers.progressive.com.
US 2 from Skykomish to Stevens Pass is set to reopen Sunday. More on that after we take a look at the roads. Your KIRO News Radio traffic on southbound 405 at I-90. We got a crash that's over on the right shoulder with traffic backed up to about Southeast 8th in Bellevue. And on northbound 405, also at Southeast 8th, got a new crash that's blocking the center lane. We got slowing back past Cold Creek Parkway, Renton to Bellevue. That has jumped up to 30 minutes. Otherwise, Puget Sound area roads are moving near posted speeds. Some drive times, Everett to Bellevue or Seattle, both around a half hour. Puyallup to Renton is a half hour as well. And Federal Way to Seattle is 25 minutes.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Ted Beener. The western side of Highway 2 is opening sooner than expected. Speaking today from Skykomish, Governor Bob Ferguson made the announcement.
We anticipate opening the stretch of highway from where we are right now all the way to the pass on Sunday, as in this Sunday.
The stretch of highway has been closed for weeks due to recent flood damage. Work crews are still making repairs on a bridge east of Skykomish, but WashDOT says it's safe for vehicles. The eastern side of US 2 between Leavenworth and Stevens Pass is partially reopened. A pilot car is escorting drivers on one-way trips from Coles Corner to the pass from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. King County will have to spend more than $3 million on a temporary replacement for the historic Bering Bridge over the Skykomish River. The bridge was built in 1930 and was already scheduled to be replaced sometime in 2029. But it was also damaged in recent storms and flooding. Access is now limited to residents or guests of the 170 properties that lie across the south fork of the Skykomish River. A deadly crash shut down part of South Tacoma Way Monday afternoon. Police say two sedans collided near 66th Street around 1:30. A female passenger died at the scene, according to Sergeant John Correa. According to the News Tribune, both drivers were rushed to local hospitals with serious injuries. Investigators are still working to figure out what caused the wreck. Seattle is among the top best U.S. cities to ring in the new year. KIRO Newsradio Heather Bosch reports.
Wallet Hub compared 100 cities on things like fireworks, food, nightlife, affordability, and safety. Orlando ranked number 1 for New Year's celebrations, followed by Las Vegas, New York, Seattle, and Los Angeles. Analyst Chip Lupo says Seattle would have likely ranked higher if celebrating here wasn't so expensive. In fact,
Seattle is dead last, 100th in grooming costs, beauty salon and haircut prices.
But on the plus side,
plenty of nightlife options and music venues.
And Seattle won points for its fireworks show that lights up the Space Needle for a generous amount of time. Heather Bosch, KIRO News Radio.
This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly sunny this afternoon. We'll have highs in the mid-40s. Rain is expected to return on Friday. It is currently 45 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Ted Meaner, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome to the Jake and Spike Show. I'm Spike O'Neill. Jake Skorheim still enjoying time with that family. Oh, what a lucky man. Welcome to the show, everybody. Laura Scott's with me today. Andrew's on the board. We are going to wrap up 2025, at least from our contribution here. It's my last live show of the year. Laura's going to be here for the rest of the week, and I appreciate her covering the fort for us and playing some of our best highlighted moments of...
We're doing best of the best, so... Our favorite segments from the entire year will be playing for you the rest of the week. In between, of course, sports broadcasting, which we all know is the most important thing on the radio.
Isn't it true? Part of my highlights from 2025 are going to be, how far the Mariners took us this year, where the Seahawks are taking us as we speak. It's been a pretty great year. But it's also been a year of, some conflict, some, I think, embarrassing moments, some prideful moments. I heard you and Ursula speak, I think it was yesterday morning. Are you proud of 2025? I thought it was a great question to ask. Whether you're from a perspective of your own personal accomplishments or goals that you may have met in 2025. Are you proud of who the country is today, where we're going, what we've accomplished in the last year? We'd love to hear your take on this. You can text us at 888-973-5476. I'd love to know your take on what are your thoughts on 2025? Are you proud? Are you proud of what you've accomplished, what we've accomplished as a nation in 2025? We're going to start the show today, first things first. A moment I don't think I'm very proud of. I'll give my personal take on this one. I'm speaking, of course, about the John F. Kennedy Memorial Center for the Performing Arts. It is the Kennedy Center. To me, it will always be the Kennedy Center. And I think you know where I'm going with this. Because recently, the president, Donald J. Trump, decided that he would rebrand a memorial. And first, let's understand the meaning of the word memorial. President John F. Kennedy was assassinated, of course, November 22nd, 1963. Shortly thereafter, the Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts was opened and honored as a memorial to an assassinated president. And for the last 62 years, I should know that because I am also from 1963. For the last 60 years or so, the 61 years, the Kennedy Center has been the focal point of American art and culture, where America comes to celebrate its diversity, its talent, its inspiration, its creativity. Earlier this year, President Trump decided to take over the Kennedy Center in the capacity of firing the entire board of directors from the Kennedy Center, appointing himself the new director of the Kennedy Center, appointing an entirely new board to oversee the facility and its resources, its performances, what artists will play there. That change from on high, from the administration, the Trump administration, led to all those who weren't. Those board, of course, was completely fired. people started leaving the Kennedy Center. Various trustees and committee members and patrons started pulling out because of the Trump takeover, the Trump administration's intrusion into the Center for the Performing Arts. Artists started canceling performances at the Kennedy Center. Yesterday's headline was that the New Year's Eve concert, the traditional New Year's Eve concert at the Kennedy Center, which is a jazz and dance performance, an all-jazz septet, and the Terrace Theater was on the Terrace Theater stage, blah, 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 blah. Chuck Red has hosted this New Year's Eve celebration for a number of years, decided that as a statement, a protest, political protest, of the Trump administration's intrusion and takeover of the Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts. Thank you very much, Laura. Puts up. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can see Laura will constantly be adding visual features to add onto our storytelling here. About a month ago, I want to say, maybe 3 weeks ago, when President Trump, the newly elected board, appointed board of the Kennedy Center, decided that to honor President Trump's efforts to renovate the Kennedy Center, which had fallen into horrible disrepair and was neglected and blah, 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 to rename the center the Donald J. Trump and John F. Kennedy Memorial Center for the Performing Arts. Again, I refer you to the meaning of the word memorial. President Trump slapped his name on the Kennedy Center and took over the board. And the last actually, President Trump hosted the last Kennedy Center Honors production, in which I think Kiss was one of the artists featured in the last Kennedy Center Honors. I think Gloria Gaynor got entered into it this year. A couple other artists that were honored. And don't get me wrong, I got no qualms with any of the artists that the last induction ceremony into the Kennedy Center Honors featured. They've all done great work. They're wonderful artists, deserving of recognition. But now that this has been, now that the change has been made and the Trumpization of the Kennedy Center is in full swing, and artists, not just the New Year's Eve show, but artists are canceling up and down the Kennedy Center's schedule. Apparently, the new president of the Kennedy Center, the Trump Kennedy Center, has decided to sue Chuck Red for his late cancellation based on his political ideology, at least as far as the lawsuit, suing for $1 million, suing Chuck Red for $1 million, saying that it's cowardly, it's not brave. In fact, the vice president of PR for the Kennedy Center, a Roma Duravi, said any artist canceling their show at the Kennedy Center, I'm going to quote verbatim here, any artist canceling their show at the Trump Kennedy Center over political differences isn't courageous or principled. They are selfish, intolerant, and have failed to meet the basic duty of public artists to perform for all people. Now, I give credit to the sentiment there. An artist's duty is to perform for all people. So to be calling out an artist as selfish and intolerant from a group that just slapped their name on a memorial for another fallen leader, and calling the other side selfish, calling an artist intolerant for standing up and making a protest for an administration who doesn't even recognize certain individuals in our country, let alone perform for them, I think it's beyond hypocritical. And it's embarrassing to me what's happening at the Kennedy Center, that President Donald J. Trump feels the need to inject himself to be the arbiter of culture in this country. It's I don't know, shameful. It's embarrassing. And how do you feel about 2025? Are you proud of 2025? And I'm going to give you my own personal take on this. I'd love to hear your points, and I'm sure people will disagree with me. I'm not proud of our country at the end of 2025. I think it's been a shameful year, an embarrassing year, almost a disgraceful year on a lot of fronts. I love the fact that this administration calls themselves a law and order administration, and they're going to crack down on illegal immigration but then you see our cities being invaded, I'll say, by military troops under the idea, the guise of fighting crime. Which, okay, Crime is a problem in America. We all want safer cities. We all want law enforcement to be able to do its job. Of course we do. But to send troops into American cities under the guise of crime prevention and the crackdowns on immigration, illegal immigration is bad. We don't want illegal immigration. We always we should have a fair and safe and legal means to become an American citizen. But ICE raids are embarrassing, shameful. I'm not proud of that. I'm not proud of people being rounded up by the color of their skin and the dialect that they use, the language that they speak. The Supreme Court says someone being brown and speaking a foreign language is enough, probable cause, to round somebody up and detain them for hours, days, without any designation, without any notification, without access to basic American rights, constitutional rights, various, liberties just destroyed. I'm not proud of that. I'm ashamed at that. And I apologize for being, opening up the show with such a beefy and weighty topic.
Well, I'll apologize because I put it in.
No. I'm glad that you did because, if you love this country, you should be strong enough and brave enough to call it out for its glory and its shortcomings. Don't get me wrong. I'm proud of a lot of things that have happened this year in this country. But I'm not proud of this administration. I'm not proud of the things that are going on in this administration. The Kennedy Center is a national treasure. Does it need, attention and investment and upgrade? Of course it does. All things do. Things worthwhile, worth having, are worth investing in and worth maintaining. But to slap your name on it's, by the way, that's illegal for the Trump administration to just arbitrarily rename the Kennedy Center as the Donald J. Trump and John F. Kennedy Memorial Center for the Performing Arts. That's illegal. The memorial was designated through an act of Congress, and any changes therein would require an act of Congress approval to take place. But this administration doesn't rely on norms and what is required by law and an act of Congress. It just does what it wants to do. And that's just one of the things that make me a little bit embarrassed today to be, I'm embarrassed to be an American. I love being an American. I'm proud to be an American. I'm embarrassed at some of the things this administration feels willing and enabled, empowered to do. I saw a social media post, and take those for what they're worth. Everybody's got a platform. I've got this one. You got your social media. Everybody out there's got one. I saw a political commentator asking a question of another commentator. He said, so if President Trump, through executive order, decided that we would no longer be the United States of America, much like, President Trump decided we would rename the Gulf of Mexico, which is bordered by numerous countries, as the Gulf of America, just by his decree through executive order. President Trump signed an executive order tomorrow saying it's the United States of Trump. I'm giving an extreme, it wasn't me, I'm quoting someone I saw a post on social media. I think it was Joe Walsh, former House representative, who was doing this, to give credit where credit's due. If President Trump signed an executive order saying we are now the United States of Trump, how would Republican elected officials respond? Would there be an outrage? Would there be a revolt? Would that be a bridge too far? And the assessment from the two wonks that I was watching on this video, there would be some pushback by a handful of Republicans who said, that's just too much. We're not the United States of Trump. But it would only come from a handful. The majority of elected Republican officials, this was the assessment of these two political wonks and commentators, but I tend to agree with their assessment of it. The majority of Republicans would go along because it seems to be there is no bridge too far for this administration to dive off of. There's just nothing's out of bounds anymore. There's no constraints anymore. I saw this week that we're not just blowing boats out of the water without due process or any evidence because they've been declared to be enemy combatants in a presidentially declared war on terrorism, narco-terrorism. Now we're blowing up land-based. There was a drone strike in Venezuela, a land-based facility that may or may not have been a trafficking hub for international drug trade, and that's very well may be the case. And I'm not for international drug trade. That's an asinine thing to assume of me. But blind strikes without due process or evidence or any of the norms of a civilized nation to just blow people up because we said they were doing this. That doesn't the ends don't justify the means. International drug trade's illegal. There are legal and in law mechanisms, there are legal mechanisms for fighting that and legal penalties for doing that. Execution is not a penalty, an accepted penalty for international drug smuggling. That's not how a civilized world works. So, yeah, I'm not proud of that. I'm not proud of Trumpy 25. I think we're going to rename 2025 Trumpy 25. I'm not proud of that at all. And I apologize for being so dark. And this has been building up for a while for me. I see the things that this administration is doing, from domestic to international policy, from culture wars to stripping U.S. citizens of civil rights. Because there's been don't kid yourself. In the mass roundup of illegal immigrants in this country, there have been far too many, not a handful, not dozens, but almost, I think, hundreds of U.S. citizens caught up in these dragnets that were just detained, sent off to detention centers. Don't get me started on Alligator Alcatraz or whatever other catchy marketing phrased internment concentration camp we're designating these individuals to. Do I want an open border? No, nobody wants an open border. The Biden administration didn't want an open border. Don't kid yourself. Don't buy the BS. It wasn't an open border. Were there policy failures of immigration for the Biden administration? Absolutely. Were they being addressed? Not sufficiently. Could they have done more? Absolutely, they could have done more. Did they try to do more? Yes. Was the effort to do more to fight illegal immigration in this country squashed by President Trump for a campaign issue? Absolutely. If you don't think so, you're denying the reality of life. And I'm probably ticking a lot of you off today, but that's okay. It's been a great year here at KIRO News Radio. We brought you the news. We brought you opinions. I got a chance to do this show for the last year. I'm very proud of that. I'd be a lot prouder, I think, if I spoke up sooner about the way I feel about these issues. Didn't do that. That's why I'm here today. And if you're glad to hear it, if you agree with what I'm saying, I'm glad that you share these views with me. If you oppose what I'm saying, if you think I'm full of beans and I'm buying into left-wing propaganda and whatever you use to rationalize your justification for these actions, I challenge anybody to take on what I just said and stated and proclaimed to be embarrassing for me as an American citizen. If you think I'm wrong on any of these issues, let me know. Let me know what I got factually wrong. Said I'm embarrassed, but that's my personal opinion of it, my point of view. Can't be wrong about my point of view. If I get facts wrong, let me know. I'm happy to be corrected. I'm happy to take additional information to let me know that I've been misinformed somewhere along the line. That's an easy thing to do these days, be misinformed. Hi, Laura. How are you?
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. It's been a great year in America. There have been some embarrassing moments in America, some things we really shouldn't be proud of. If we do love this country, we love all that offers to all of our citizens, those who seek citizenship in this country. I watch these news headlines go ripping across the screen every day on various channels. I try to watch a lot of different type of media from different silos of perspective to, see how the other side thinks, maybe see things I haven't considered before from a fresh perspective with fresh information. I like to have all the facts. My opinions are my opinions, but facts aren't negotiable. Facts are facts. And again, if I've gotten any of the last details wrong about why I'm somewhat embarrassed by what 2025 has done, this country has done to the world on the world stage, let me know. Let me know what I got factually wrong.
Do we have a resolution for 2026, given what 2025 felt like on a national political level?
Great question. I'd like accountability to be the buzzword of 2026.
I like that.
Accountability, accuracy, and accountability, because I think without either of those things, we're not going to make it. And I don't know if we're, I don't want to be a doomsayer, but we're at a major turning point, inflection point, crossroads of this country. And this could go a couple of different ways, a couple of very, very different ways. But I think with accuracy of information and, my goal for 25, resolution for 2026, or I should say, is to be better informed, to be more accurately informed. We'll have a story coming up later today about AI and how AI is forming public opinion and not always with accurate information, with disingenuous AI-fed information, because AI has a greater mission than informing us. It's about getting our attention and feeding our attention. Media does that sometimes. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday. It's December 30th, 2025. I'm Spike O'Neill, and for Jake Skorheim, the Jake and Spike Show. And I appreciate you letting me spit that out, everybody. If you're still with us, great. Back in half an hour. When we come back, we'll have Chris Sullivan join us. We got great news today. Governor Ferguson gave us great news about our local commute and our local about Highway 2
and our ski season.
Our ski season, yeah. We'll have Sully with that and the winter forecast for the winter schedule, I should say, for the Washington Ferry system. So please don't go anywhere. Thanks for tolerating me for the last few minutes. We'll be right back after these.
Charbonnet breaks the tackle and he's in. Touchdown, Seahawks!
Setting up the biggest game of the season.
A critical, huge NFC West battle against the San Francisco 49ers.
It's a heavyweight fight. Winner of the game wins the division. Winner is the number 1 seed.
Holy catfish!
It doesn't get any bigger than this.
Let's go do it. Let's go rip it.
Seahawks 49ers. Saturday, kickoff at 5.
On KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
If you've been putting off retirement conversations because you're worried it's going to turn into a sales pitch, you're not alone. Hi, Ursula Reutin here. At Trajan Wealth, the focus starts with listening. Their advisors are fiduciaries, which means they're bound to put your needs first, and that changes the tone right away. No pressure, no promises, they're not working off commissions, and they're not pushing any specific products. With Trajan Wealth, it's about understanding where you are and having a clearer sense of what your options look like. Trajan Wealth is veteran-owned and works with families who want thoughtful guidance that fits real life. Start the new year off right with a game-changing financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth today to figure out how to make your New Year's resolution stick. Trajan, spelled Trajan. Call 206-656-3300. That's 206-656-3300 or visit TrajanWealth.com.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC. SEC registered investment advisor. Client paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Rain on game day doesn't faze Dave. He's already got his poncho. Just needs to do something about those wipers. So Dave heads to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone,
where a friendly AutoZoner helps him get premium quiet wipers and some hand warmers.
You're all set.
Now, if only his team can handle the elements as well as his new wipers. Get wipers, glass cleaner, and more with no hassles, just help at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
It's a cold winter night and your furnace dies. Don't let this happen to you. If your system's 12 years or older, upgrade now to a Mitsubishi electric heating and air conditioning system from Home Comfort Alliance and stay warm. Visit homecomfortalliance.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Charlie's battery is struggling to start. Not ideal before the tailgate, so he goes to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone,
where a friendly AutoZoner tests his battery for free. Looks like he needs a new one, so he gets a Duralast battery.
have fun and stay warm.
And he makes it to the tailgate early enough to get his favorite spot. Free battery testing and charging. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
More than 4,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer every year in Washington state. I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda with Northwest Hope and Healing. We provide a lifeline to breast and gynecologic cancer patients, and you can help us make a difference. Join us for Cork, Fork, and Support, an afternoon of wine tasting and inspiration on January 31st at Mary Hill Winery in Woodinville's Wine Country. Get your tickets now for Cork, Fork, and Support. Go to nwhopeandhealing.org to learn more.
Boy, am I glad to be done with my holiday shopping.
Oh, I know.
And now I just want to relax.
Me too. Well, except there's one more store we should check out.
Oh, no way.
Because this week, we can get a Samsung, LG, or Sony TV at an incredible price.
Really? Where?
At Video Only's year-end clearance sale. They're really cutting deals.
Because the holidays are over?
Yep. So this is our chance to get what we wanted for Christmas.
Are the prices really that good?
Yes. For 7 days they are. And Video Only has those top-rated models we were thinking about all on sale.
All right. The best stuff cheap is worth a trip.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Hey, it's Jason Rantz. Our local tax expert Greg Nunn wants taxpayers to know the IRS is now going after older cases very aggressively. If you received Form CP-504 from the IRS, do not ignore it. Be proactive and resolve your situation with Greg Nunn, N-U-N-N, None Better Tax Resolution.
Get inspired at the Puyallup Home Remodeling and Outdoor Living Show January 2nd through the 4th at the Washington State Fairgrounds, and everyone gets in free on Friday.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Ted Beener. Sunday afternoon, a deputy says he spotted a stolen scooter and held the driver at gunpoint.
Rider, hands up! Get on the ground!
When backup arrived, they handcuffed the suspect.
You have any weapons on you?
No.
Later that night, the same deputy stopped a truck that came back stolen and arrested the driver as well. Investigators say in both cases they found meth on the suspects, a drug making a comeback nationwide. The DEA expects to seize double the amount of meth nationwide this year compared to last year. US 2 from Skykomish to Stevens Pass is going to reopen this Sunday. Speaking today from Skykomish, Governor Bob Ferguson made the announcement.
We anticipate opening the stretch of highway from where we are right now all the way to the pass on Sunday, as in this Sunday.
The stretch of highway has been closed for weeks due to recent flood damage. Work crews are still making repairs on a bridge east of Skykomish, but WashDOT officials say it is safe for vehicles. The eastern side of US 2 between Coles Corner and Stevens Pass is partially reopened. Got pilot cars escorting drivers on one-way trips from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Washington State DOT Secretary Julie Meredith says the highway cannot be used for cross-Cascade travel and to use I-90 instead. A veteran trooper is suing Washington State Patrol over alleged discrimination. More from KIRO News Radio's Jillian Rafferty.
Colin Overend Pearson says he endured years of hostility for being gay. He claims coworkers circulated a demeaning AI video about him. According to the News Tribune, the lawsuit was filed December 19th in Pierce County Superior Court. Washington State Patrol says it cannot comment while the case is active. Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Federal officials continue to investigate claims of federal funding fraud in Minnesota. CBS News reporter Jonah Kaplan reports this is not the first closer look into finances for programs receiving money from the government.
More than 90 people have been charged over the past 3 years in an alleged scheme to defraud state programs intended to feed low-income kids, house the disabled, and provide services to autistic children. Earlier this month, CBS News revealed exclusive details about the expensive trips, luxury vehicles, and high-class real estate that a group of convicted fraudsters bought with millions of taxpayer money. Federal prosecutors warn the total amount of fraud could reach $9 billion, though state officials, including Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, challenged that estimate.
Earlier this month, charges were filed against two men from Pennsylvania who are accused of traveling to Minneapolis at the urging of a friend just to defraud federally funded programs designed to help people with disabilities or addiction. On Wall Street, another down day, but not as bad as it was earlier today. Dow Jones at this moment is down 54 points, NASDAQ is down 28, and the S&P is down 2.5 points. KIRO News Radio traffic. Here's Nate Connors.
Hey, thanks, Ted. It's a slow roll into Seattle from the north end due to a couple of issues. First, the South 5 at Boylston. We've got a collision fully blocking the on-ramp right now. We're a good half hour into this, so hopefully this will be cleared by our next report. And then just past that, under the convention center, a collision blocks your right lane. You're backed up to Northgate. That's a pretty hefty backup. Linwood to Seattle is going to take you a half hour, a 10-minute delay. Over in Bellevue, North 405 approaching Southeast 8. The collision is in your right lane. Your backup starts just north of Northeast 44th near the VMAC. Renton to Bellevue is at 35 minutes, a 25-minute delay here. And then this backup has westbound 90 solid at 150th for drivers stacking up waiting to get onto northbound 405. Also, southbound 405 slows through the scene from Southeast 8th to I-90. Over in Renton, northbound 167 jams up just briefly approaching 405 from an earlier collision. And in Parkland, northbound 7 at 112th, a collision in your left lane. This is just before you reach State Route 512. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. This weather update is brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly sunny this afternoon. We'll have highs in the mid-40s. Dry weather is expected to continue through New Year's Day with the next chance of rain coming on Friday. It's currently 46 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Ted Biener, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to a special mid-holiday edition of the Jake and Spike Show. I'm Spike O'Neill. Jake, of course, spending time with family. We're joined now by our own Captain Choke Point, Chris Sullivan. First off, happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you. Did you have a nice holiday?
Oh, yeah, it was nice. Just Holly, Tommy, me, and my brother-in-law, just nice and easy at the house. Yeah,
Not a lot of traveling around town, didn't a lot of driving?
We just kind of stuck around the house.
See, the wise, informed man right there, buddy.
Just stay away. Yeah, I don't think we went out of the house for 4 days. It was awesome.
That's heaven. So I think the governor just had a press conference. We've got breaking news. We're maybe the first people in town to give you this information. What did the governor
some
have
really,
to say?
really good news for people who want to ski at Stevens Pass or for people who want to get up to ski at Stevens Pass. The governor just announced that Highway 2 is going to reopen between Skykomish and Stevens Pass on Sunday. They're expecting to get it open by Sunday. They were waiting on the assessment of a bridge right around milepost 54, which is just east of Skykomish. It was under feet of water and really debris.
Yeah, covered.
Covered, and they were really worried about that. So they got the assessment late yesterday, and it couldn't have been better. According to the governor, the bridge is in good shape, structurally sound. It will need some work, but not in an emergency. They can handle that work later on. Wasn't damaged enough that they have to do anything emergency on it. So they plan to open on Sunday between Skykomish all the way to Stevens Pass. But then Stevens Pass to Coles Corner still going east. That's still going to remain with that one lane alternating during daylight hours, roughly 6 to 6 with a pilot car. But getting up there from our side of the west side is open.
This months long, we heard possible closure.
Possibly, who knows? Yeah,
wow.
They were all waiting on this one bridge, and it was the best possible news that you could have gotten. I mean, it went anywhere from the roads washed out and the bridges, and we're talking months or longer, to alternating to whatever. But no, they say it's in good shape. They being the governor, WashDOT, Mayor Skykomish. So they're going to be open for business come Sunday. Don't know what time. At that we'll probably get a little bit more guidance on that over the next 48 hours or so. But yeah, fantastic news.
Well, the fact that Stevens just opened on Monday, they finally got their lift chairs running on Monday, and we had talked about the roundabout coming from the eastern side to it, which was, a lifeline to an industry that's really, got a late start, and now the weather and the flooding and all the other factors. This is great news.
Yeah, and again, they're still recommending that if you're going to Leavenworth, do it the simple way. Go I-90 and up 97 and
come back.
And go that way. And again, it's no bargain going from Leavenworth up to Coles Corner either, because that part of Highway 2 is still, washed out.
Yeah.
You have to go through, Chumstick Canyon on this little tiny road to pop up over the top by Lake Wenatchee. It's not an easy drive.
You really want to get to Leavenworth.
Yeah, you really might want to stay there a few days to get up and over to get from Leavenworth to Stevens. But you can get to Leavenworth fine, but now you can get to Stevens from the west side, which was fabulous. I mean, it was the best news you could possibly get.
So a couple other things I want to touch while we got you here.
Yeah.
Nate had a great piece on My Northwest about the winter schedule for the Washington ferries went into effect on Monday.
Yes.
Or Sunday, on Sunday.
The 28th, yeah.
Yeah, and there's also some news about the Mukilteo Clinton ferry.
Yep, went up there yesterday. Boy, what a beautiful day to go watch the ferries come in and out of Mukilteo.
I thought you were watching the construction crews. No, okay,
no. They weren't out there yet.
Okay.
But starting next week and going into February, there are going to be 9 non-consecutive days where they're not going to have sailings between Mukilteo and Clinton from about 8:30 in the morning to 1:30 in the afternoon. They're going to let the morning rush happen, then they're going to get ready for the afternoon. They had a hard landing there a couple years ago, and it hit the wing wall, which is...
Those are kind of the bumpers.
Those are the bumpers that are right on the ferry that look like a V, that that kind of guide the ferry in. They did some temporary stuff a couple years after this happened, but now they've got to go back in and do the real work. So they're going to have to do some pile driving, move it around, get it in a little deeper. And to do that, they're going to have, as I said, 9 days, non-consecutive, where in the middle of the day, there just aren't going to be any sailings. First one is Tuesday of next week, and then I believe it's Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and then another couple of days, and a few in February, plus a couple of weekend nighttime closures that could impact some late sailings. All the actual schedule is up at mynorthwest.com, but that's some work that they need to get done. Hopefully won't impact people too much. They've been handing out pamphlets at the dock for the better part of the month
to inform those regular
users.
Let
the regulars know. I mean, that's a lifeline to a lot of people who work at Boeing. Especially the top, the white collar folks who have a few extra dollars. They live on
on the island, and
they commute over.
Right.
And so, so if you ever want to know what's going to be happening with a Boeing plane, just go to Diamond Knot Brewery right there before, and you'll probably hear something while they're waiting to catch their
You'll hear the real
walk-on.
skinny.
You'll find out exactly what's happening.
Let me buy you a beer and tell me what's going on with your plant.
So that's coming up here next week, the first of those. So it's just something to be aware of as they finish the work on that wing wall.
We always talk and we give grief to the ferry system in the state because of lack of staffing or blown budgets and delayed returns on long-term investments for the ferry system. But for those guys to get in there and surgically after the morning commute and not around the weekends to work within the constraints of a commute, a commuter needs.
Yeah.
It's amazing. They're like a pit crew.
Yeah, pretty much. They've got to put their crane and their equipment on a barge, and after the last boat clears, they're going to just drive it right in there or pilot it in there. And then just do their, bonk, 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 start pile driving, do their thing.
And be done before the afternoon commute needs
That's the plan. In about 4-hour windows, 9 4-hour windows. They hope to get it done, plus some overnight work. They're not going to do any pile driving overnight. That would be rude for the people of Mukilteo.
Those kind of mortgage rates. No, mortgage payments. No,
it's bad enough they have a train going in front of them.
Yeah, we fought against it, but we lost.
So that'll be good. It's going to be pretty, it's in a spot where they can do that without disrupting service too badly, but that will be impactful for people trying to get off Whidbey Island.
I can't tell how many times we've had the conversation, why did they pick this weekend? Why are they waiting for this? Why are they doing it during a home game? Yada, yada. But this winter schedule allows them to do so much needed repair.
Oh, yeah.
With less intrusion, because this is the slowest time of the year.
And they can move boats around to things if they need to make up, and there are other options. But yeah, so that this is kind of the time when they can do it, because the summertime's their busy time.
Exactly.
That's when
this is the slow season.
Yeah, it's the opposite for construction work on the roads. They all work during the summer because they can't work in the winter. Now it's opposites for these guys.
Yeah, and again, we always we bring you the tough news of the day often with regard to our traffic and our transit and our the WASDOT. But these guys really have been stepping up to get stuff done under brutal conditions with the flooding damage and the assessment that just announced 2 was open again.
Yeah, they've been working really hard, and I mean they have a full complement of workers there at the construction side and the maintenance side, or the maintenance side primarily for the DOT. So good on them. Yeah, they've been doing really, really good work the last month.
And I'm probably the last guy ever to say this, but kudos to the federal government for stepping up with the FEMA relief when it was needed, so we could assess what was going on. That's got to open. Probably saved the ski season. Yeah. Probably helps Leavenworth survive. We mentioned Leavenworth. It's still it's worth the drive, and they're keeping Christmas open until February. It's great. Yeah. This is great news all the way around, Chris.
Yeah. So definitely, you can get up to Stevens now, and definitely you can get to Leavenworth. Just do it the right way, which is stay on 90 and 97. And make sure you have your chains.
Thank you.
Let's not be the one person who gets stuck and causes a road closure. In fact, we already had avalanche work done this morning on Snoqualmie Pass in the westbound direction. So they're starting to get enough snow up there that those are back in operation. So that's good. So they're working hard to try to make sure those roads are open.
It'd be nice to have an actual normal ski season and snow season over the pass.
Definitely.
We use the snowpack for the winter, for the summer
for
water.
the summer months. We
go.
definitely need it for the summer.
Thank you, my friend.
Sure.
All right, Chris Sullivan got it for you, and all the information is at minewithwest.com.
That is true. Yep.
We'll be right back after these, folks. Don't go anywhere.
Happy holidays and Merry Christmas, everyone. It's John Curley from KIRO Radio's John Curley Show. Remember, the greatest present you can give is yourself. Your presence is the greatest present. Besides, it's really hard to regift your Uncle Bob. It makes a lot of noise in the box. From all of us here at KIRO Radio and the John Curley Show, have yourself a Merry Christmas and, of course, a Happy New Year.
From KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Everybody loves the season of giving, but now the season of paying for it is upon us. That not so wonderful time of the year when millions of Americans open their credit card statements, stare in horror at the balance, and resolve then and there to find new ways to save money. If you're among those Americans, why not start by cutting your wireless bill in half right now with Pure Talk's Saver Plan? It's easy. You'll get unlimited talk, text, and 3 gigs of high-speed data on a super-fast, nationwide 5G network for just $20 a month. Just dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Ho, ho, ho. And if you're active or former military or a first responder, you'll save an additional 20% every single month. That's pound 250. Say Mike Rowe for the gift that keeps on saving from America's wireless company. Pure Talk.
This is the sale car buyers wait for. 6 dealerships, 1 family. It's the Harnish Auto Family Year-End Super Sale. Wrap up the year with savings on all 2025 models, plus amazing deals on pre-owned vehicles. Chevrolet, Kia, Volkswagen, GMC, Buick, and Subaru. 22 acres of trucks, SUVs, EVs, and cars make finding your perfect ride easy. Visit HarnishAutoFamily.com or stop by Everett or Puyallup today. That's HarnishAutoFamily.com. Harnish Auto Family. People matter.
Makita's built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts. With tools built to last, job after job, year after year. Performance that pays off, because when the job calls for the best, you answer. And when you need the best, you call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Rain on game day doesn't faze Dave. He's already got his poncho. Just needs to do something about those wipers. So Dave heads to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone,
where a friendly AutoZoner helps him get premium quiet wipers and some hand warmers.
You're all set.
Now, if only his team can handle the elements as well as his new wipers. Get wipers, glass cleaner, and more with no hassles, just help at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Guys, if your energy is low, your strength isn't what it used to be, or your drive feels off, it's not just getting older. For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, you can start with a free T-check, exam, and consultation so you get real answers about your testosterone levels and overall health. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. This isn't guesswork or one-size-fits-all treatment. Revive specializes in personalized, closely monitored testosterone care designed to help men feel stronger, sharper, and more like themselves again. With over 120,000 patients treated since 2011, Revive Men's Health is trusted for results, not hype. If you've been putting this off, now is the time to act. Claim your free T-check and consultation and see if you qualify for 25% off TRT. This month only. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply, must medically qualify.
Hartley here from Wilcox Family Farms. I'm so excited to have my cousin Amelia with me today. So, how many chickens do you think there are on the farm?
3,000?
What do you think chickens eat?
Grass.
What else?
Seed.
So, do you know what organic eggs are?
The ones that you put in brownies?
Yes, the ones you put in brownies.
We hope you choose fresh eggs from our family farm.
Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh
since 1909.
I started Davis Law Group in 1994 to fight for the underdog. And as our team has grown, we've stayed true to that mission. Today, Davis Law Group is known for providing excellent service and even better results. Visit WashingtonAccidentBooks.com to get your free book on car accident law.
WSECU is proud to be the credit union for Washington. As a cooperative, we understand the value of teamwork by working together with members and communities all across our state, north to south, east to west. We span mountain ranges, not for profit, but for people, because relationships matter, and banking is better when it's better for everyone. We're WSECU, the credit union for Washington. Join us.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the Jake and Spike Show. I'm Spike O'Neill. Laura Scott's in with me today. Jake Skorheim's taking a day with his family. Love it. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but the Powerball giveaway this last week was like $1.8 billion was the jackpot in the Powerball. And that Powerball is a national contest, of course. But there were more than a handful of local winners. In fact, Washingtonians walked away with $11 million in winnings in the latest Powerball giveaway. The sole winner, by the way, of the $1.8 billion Powerball jackpot was a winner in Arkansas. Good for them. Hope they stay anonymous. Amazes me how people who get that instant mega millions, now it's billions. First off, billions? I remember when a lot of money was $1 million.
Or when it meant something to be a millionaire.
You're right. We have more millionaires. We mint millionaires in this state like it's nothing. And that's great. Success is wonderful. But, people won't even bother. It's funny how as the jackpot starts to escalate. And, of course, as more people gamble, the more money goes into the kitty. The jackpot continues to rise. We've seen these Powerball jackpots that get into the multiple billions of dollars. Because that's what it takes to motivate people anymore to win $1 million. I bet a lot of people would walk right past a chance to buy a ticket. But when it's a couple billions, it's billions of dollars. Everybody jumps on board. In fact, it was funny. I did a lot of holiday shopping at the grocer. The truly unpleasant Mrs. O'Neill does all the gift shopping for the entirety of our hoard and the periphery hoard that associated with our family. Melissa does all that gift shopping. I do the food shopping. I'm at the grocery stores week before Christmas, a couple days before Christmas, and I couldn't help but notice the line of people at the lottery ticket vending machine. You've all seen them at the groceries. There's that big Washington Lottery, Powerball.
Yeah, but I've never seen a line.
I mean, every time I went in, there was people waiting to get to the ticket things. And I'm not sure, it may have had something to do with the excessive Powerball jackpot of $1.8 billion. But I really think, and I think, Laura, you told me this, that people give lottery tickets as Christmas presents.
Yes, we all got a little scratch off, the crossword one, in our stockings.
Stocking stuffers, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw people left, right, and center waiting to buy stocking stuffers from the Washington State Lottery.
And it's a perfect stocking stuffer.
Yeah, it is. I don't think I've ever done that, given away lottery tickets before.
I mean, I don't think it's a good habit to enforce. But now that we're all like over 18 in my extended family, it's kind of fun to play.
Start gambling.
Once a year. Well, just once a year.
No, and I think lottery is probably the safest. I mean, why not? It's $1, it's $5, it's maybe $10. That's the other thing about lottery tickets. When you buy those scratch tickets or lottery tickets, it costs more than $1 for a lot of these big chances. But you got to play big to win big. You know, you got to play big to lose big too.
Don't spend anything you're not okay losing.
Well, that's the rule number one of gambling. I told you before, I've got a gambling problem, and I made a bet with God, and God delivered, and I haven't gambled since 1980. I want to say 5, maybe 84. My week before Christmas, Monday Night Football bet. I've told you this story.
I've heard this story.
I was underwater, and I asked on my knees, asking God in front of a television to give me this bet. I'll never bet again. He did. I haven't, so I don't gamble anymore. But if you give let me ask you this question: if you give somebody a lottery ticket for a scratcher in their stocking, and they hit, imagine they hit. They hit big. Are you owed anything?
I think it's if I won the money, I would not want to give any of it. But if I bought it, I would feel owed at least a percentage.
A percentage? Okay. So if somebody wins $10K, you want to...
I want $1K.
You want 10%?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's like a manager's fee. Consider me a producer of your winning lottery ticket.
There you go. Without me, you have nothing.
Exactly.
You know, I don't think it should be expected, but I think it's deserved. I think if I won big, I'd give big. If I gave somebody a ticket, I wouldn't ask for anything or expect anything in return. But that's just me.
You would just guilt. You just.
I would just.
Yeah, that's so lovely.
Them puppy eyes going.
Yeah.
When we come back, we'll talk about one of the worst flu seasons and how it could get worse for a lot of us. And we'll speak to a flu survivor. When we come back, don't go anywhere. It's the Jake and Spike Show.
I'm worried.
About what?
Water.
Oh?
Hot water, if you really want to know.
Water heater worries?
Worried it's wearing down.
Running out?
The hot doesn't last like it used to.
So you're...
worried.
I got a guaranteed fix.
Let me guess. A new water heater.
Right, but...
that's what worries me.
Well, worry no more.
Why?
What you need is an Apollo Plumbing water heater.
Because?
We include Wrenchy's worry-free warranty.
Wrenchy's what?
Worry-free warranty.
Which means?
When it wears out, we replace it.
No extra charge.
As an A-List Club member, you're covered for life.
For life?
For as long as you're an A-List member, you get annual life-extending water heater flushes included.
So it lasts longer.
Right.
And when it needs replacement,
you're covered.
With no worries.
Because it's Wrenchy's
worry-free warranty.
What else would you expect from the Ready Right Now plumbers?
Apollo Plumbing.
Home of Wrenchy's worry-free warranty.
What about tankless ones?
Worry-free too.
Gotta love that Wrenchy.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
What does VA mean to me?
A place for my daughter to call home, thanks to the VA Home Loan.
A new lease on life. The best healthcare team I've ever had is here at VA.
And education, and the opportunity to open doors I never thought possible with my GI Bill.
The financial support I need to manage the disabilities I developed because of my service.
Get what you earn. Visit choose.va.gov.
Not all veterans are eligible for the type or amount of benefits mentioned here.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
Hurry! It's our last chance to donate for 2025.
Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's our last chance to donate for 2025.
How about a New Year's resolution where the commitment takes just one day and the results can last a lifetime? Address years of hair loss like I did with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment. Using your own natural hair, Advanced Hair can restore your bald spot, receding hairline, or thinning. All backed by Advanced Hair's guarantee. Celebrate the new year with a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
I bet you folks are glad to be done with your shopping. Hopefully, all your gifts went well. But there's one last store to visit. This time, just for yourself. Your chance to get one of the top-rated Samsung, LG, or Sony TVs at a crazy low price. Where? At Video Only's year-end clearance sale. A great way to end the year. If you don't check out these deals at Video Only, you'll be sorry.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event this Friday, January 2nd through Sunday, January 25th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event starting this Friday. Discover the D.R. Horton difference. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder. Start the new year taking active liver supplements from New Nordic. Online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com or at CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery, or Wegmans.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. A newly unsealed order in the criminal case against Kilmar Abrego Garcia reveals that high-level Justice Department officials pushed for his indictment only after he was mistakenly deported and then ordered returned to the U.S. Legal analyst Laurie Levinson.
The documents that were released do tend to show that the government only indicted Garcia once they were caught for improperly deporting him to El Salvador and ordered to bring him back. The government had been claiming, no, we were always looking at these criminal charges in Tennessee for smuggling.
He has pleaded not guilty to those charges and is seeking to have the case dismissed on the ground the prosecution is vindictive. There was a detention hearing today for a man accused of planting pipe bombs in Washington ahead of the Capitol riot. CBS's Scott McFarland.
Defense attorneys for Brian Cole say the Department of Justice has not indicated or shown any dangerousness in Brian Cole. They say he has an immaculate record in the 4+ years since the Capitol pipe bombs were placed.
Cole has not entered a plea. The daughter of Caroline Kennedy has died, as Heather Bosch reports.
Tatiana Schlossberg has died at the age of 35, according to a statement released by the John F. Kennedy Library Foundation. The cause of her death was not given, but Schlossberg revealed recently that she was diagnosed last year with cancer. Schlossberg was a wife, mother of 2, and a journalist who was a critic of policies promoted by her mother's cousin, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. She said they harmed cancer patients.
CBS's Rob Marciano is tracking the Arctic blast that's moving across the northern part of the country.
We are not done with this explosive storm system. The winds are going to be an issue today, and the lake effect snows continue to pile up. Lee of the Great Lakes, all of them in action. Detroit getting some, the Pittsburgh, you've been getting some south of Buffalo, north of Syracuse up through Watertown.
CBS's Ian Lee is in Syracuse.
In the past 12 hours in Buffalo, they've had hurricane force wind gusts up to 79 miles an hour, near breaking records. The roads here are pretty nasty. We've had reports of cars crashing, going off the roads, even a snowplow.
Americans in 5 states who get government help paying for groceries will see new limits starting Thursday on soda, candy, and other foods. Part of the Trump administration's push to strip foods regarded as unhealthy from the taxpayer-funded program. Federal Reserve minutes released today show some officials had reservations about the interest rate cut earlier this month. On Wall Street, stocks finished lower today. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
All right, the flu season is ramping up. More on that coming up after KIRO News Radio Traffic. Here's Nate Connors.
Thank you, Ted. This one brought to you by Subaru Puyallup. Good news here in Seattle. We cleared our earlier collisions. Southbound I-5 at Boylston, the on-ramp is now reopened. And our crash under the convention center is now out of your way. You'll see it sitting there in the Gore Point. Backed up to Northgate still and gets pretty thick there in the U District. Linwood to Seattle has about a 10-minute delay, taking you a half hour. North 5, just stop and go between the Michigan curve to I-90 I-90. Over in Bellevue, we just cleared your collision north 405 near Southeast 8th about 5 minutes ago. We're left with a little bit of a backup starting at I-90. Renton to Bellevue has improved to 20 minutes. Westbound 90 still stop and go from 150th in that northbound 405 exit lane. South 405, you're going to slow from I-90 to 112th in Newcastle. In Issaquah, we've got a collision on the 17th Avenue overpass, blocking all northbound lanes. This is right above I-90. No estimated time when this will reopen, so you'll need to find alternate routes right now. Still got our collision in Parkland, northbound 7 at 112th in your left lane. And South 5 through JBLM, you've got a brief backup near the main gate. It's Subaru season, and now is a time to upgrade. During the Share the Love event, Subaru will donate $350 for every new vehicle purchased to charity. Visit SubaruofPuyallup.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Ted Beener. Our region may be in the thick of the peak flu season. Alex Greninger is a professor of virology with University of Washington Medicine. He says you can thank this current cold snap.
And so we always see this in the winter. The influenza strain has a few more mutations than it normally does. And so we're just seeing an earlier sort of worse peak of influenza.
If you haven't got your flu shot yet, Greninger says it's well worth it. The western side of US 2 is opening to drivers weeks ahead of schedule. Starting this Sunday, the highway will reopen from Skykomish to Stevens Pass.
When I say it's open on Sunday, it'll open as in all lanes, no restrictions from here to the pass. So it's incredibly good news.
Storm debris cut off the highway nearly 3 weeks ago. WashDOT says it's inspected the roadway, including bridges, and found they're safe for drivers. It's still single-lane travel east of Stevens Pass, with a pilot car escorting drivers from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. from Coles Corner to the pass. US 2 cannot be used for cross-Cascade travel. Authorities say use I-90. The state will be canceling midday ferry crossings between Mukilteo and Clinton next week, with the first disruption expected Tuesday. A hard landing damaged a wing wall at the Mukilteo terminal, and workers need to get it back into place. The cancellations are scheduled between 8:30 a.m. and 1:30 p.m.
We will allow the morning commute to take place. After the morning commute, we'll bring that crane in. We'll do some work for a couple hours, and then pull that crane back out of place and be back ready to serve the early evening, afternoon commute.
The ferry's Diane Rhodes says there will be some nighttime weekend sailing cancellations as well. You can see the current schedule at mynorthwest.com. Captured on body camera, a Thurston County deputy recovered 2 stolen vehicles in separate traffic stops. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports both arrests were linked to a resurgence of meth.
Sunday afternoon, a deputy says he spotted a stolen scooter and held the driver at gunpoint.
Rider, hands up! Get on the ground!
When backup arrived, they handcuffed the suspect.
You have any weapons on you?
No.
Later that night, the same deputy stopped a truck that came back stolen and arrested that driver too. Investigators say in both cases they found meth on the suspects, a drug making a comeback nationwide. The DEA expects to seize double the amount of meth nationwide this year compared to last year. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
This weather update is brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly sunny this afternoon. We'll have highs in the mid-40s. The dry weather is forecast to continue through New Year's Day before rain arrives on Friday. It's currently 46 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Ted Beener, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Hope you're having a great day. We appreciate you giving us a little bit of the afternoon. You folks are enjoying the week off, the week between Christmas and New Year. We're glad to be a part of your day. You folks that are working, we appreciate your efforts. We're working for you. We're here to make sure your day is as easygoing and well-informed as can possibly be expected. As Ted Beener just pointed out in the last newscast, we are entering the cold and flu season. We're in the thick of it. And the National Center for Disease Control, the World Health Organization, all agree this could be one of the most difficult flu seasons we've had in quite a while, because the latest strain of this variant of the flu, make sure I get these letters correct.
H3N2.
Nicely done.
Yeah, I wrote it down.
Subclade K, all the cool kids are calling it. It is morphing and evolving, I should say. The variants are changing quickly. So people worry that the latest iteration of the flu shot will be effective. And as many of us know, as somebody who's just recently had the flu, it can be devastating. I know that Nate's family had the flu hit them during the holiday season. Nate's son Leo spent 4 days just, swamped by the flu. Tough way to spend the holidays.
Poor kid.
I know, right? And the flu shots, one of the myths about the flu shot is a strong, healthy person doesn't need a flu shot. And I'll make this full admission right here. I've never had a flu shot in my life.
What?
I've never had a flu shot in my life.
Well, maybe this segment will convince you.
Maybe
otherwise.
this will, because, the flu shot doesn't prevent the flu. Flu shot, if you are unfortunate enough to contract the flu shot helps mitigate the symptoms and the effects of the flu virus that you may catch. We're gonna speak now to a listener of the show, a survivor of the 2025 flu bug, and a close, personal, dear family member of a show member.
Yes, I'm very excited to welcome my grandma to the radio show. Hi, Grandma. Are you there? Hi.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I'm not going anyplace.
Good. You're a survivor.
Let me just say hello. Hello, this is Peg Neal. Hi, Peg. I'm Spike.
Hi. Nice to talk to you, Spike.
Nice to talk to you as well. I look forward to meeting you in person someday if Laura ever gives me the honor of meeting her family, which I don't blame her a bit.
I'll be back, just like a bad penny.
A bad penny? That's such a grandma thing to say. First off, I heard you had the flu. I hope you're feeling better.
I am gradually feeling better, yes. And I will say I did have the flu vaccine. I have not had the flu for maybe, I'm trying to think, 25, 30 years. So I was surprised to be feeling as crummy as I felt. But after 2 days of just deep coughing, and basically when I wasn't coughing, I was sleeping and missing all the holiday fun, I went to one of the urgent clinics, and I didn't have most of the symptoms. It was mainly the cough and the fatigue. I didn't have aches. I didn't have the head cold part of it. I had a very low fever, which disappeared after a day. So the nurse practitioner said that the vaccine definitely was helping, even though I got the flu.
Which is so important, I think, for people to hear, because you think that if you're young and healthy, you don't need the vaccine.
That's the myth, one of the myths. Yeah.
Or if you get sick at all, that the vaccine was useless, it wasn't worth it. But I mean, I think we should have taken you sooner to urgent care because you were doing better than we thought. We didn't think it was quite as bad.
Yeah, well, this variant brings with it fever, chills, headache, fatigue, cough, sore throat, runny nose,
muscle aches,
and you basically skipped a lot of the more devastating effects because you got a flu shot.
Exactly. And on the other hand, it was not a lot of fun.
No.
So,
the cough was not fun.
No, and here's my public health announcement. Everybody needs to get the vaccination, not just me and the people who get it every year. So you're the one who didn't get the vaccine?
Spike.
Yes, I am, Peg. I'm sorry. Yes, I am. It's sorry. But it's funny because I've never really had a really bad bout with the flu in my entire life. I've been very lucky. I do a lot of the things they tell you to do during cold and flu season, which is, take a lot of vitamins. Vitamin D is actually better than vitamin C for people to help fight off
I read
flu.
that today too.
So I do take a lot of vitamins. I'm not very healthy. I don't exercise enough. I'm a little bit on the overweight side. I'm being kind to my own self there. But I've never got I never got the flu bug really badly. And I think this year I may just, given your wonderful experience with the vaccine, I may do it.
I am a very healthy person, and I exercise, and I think I eat properly, and it's been decades and decades since I've had the flu, so this is a bad year.
Yeah, and that did surprise me this Christmas too, that you were the one who got sick, because normally everyone else gets sick and you're totally fine. You were very nice to me last year. I got the flu, And we were in Ohio. This year, my grandma was out in Seattle with us. And when I was in Ohio, she took me to the urgent care and got me the medication that I needed and brought a humidifier into the room and put a little bit of whiskey in my Theraflu.
Oh, the Irish
in the evenings.
Clue.
Yeah, actually,
the Irish
it might have been
cure.
my grandpa who was
And a
putting the
shot of
whiskey in there. Yeah.
It was not me.
It was my grandpa.
Hey, Peg, could I take a moment and just first off, it's a pleasure to speak with you. I understand you were a librarian in your career. Is that right?
Yes, I was at Champaign, Illinois.
Oh, what? And how long did you get to do that?
25 years.
Wow. And was it?
I was in the public library.
Public library? Oh, like a public, not a school library, but a public library.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And you said that the last time you were on the radio was when you were a librarian. And I don't know this story.
Well, we would actually go on frequently, usually to do a book talk, plug a book that was really fun to recommend to other people. Sometimes it would be talking about a program that we were doing. So yes, I have radio experience, but it's a little out of date.
It runs in the family.
Yeah, now you know where I get it from.
Yeah. Hey, Peg, we did a story recently, maybe a couple of weeks ago, about how less and less young people are reading these days.
I've read that. I'm still a reader, so I read that report. And they're also not reading whole books in school. What's going on?
Now, yeah, teachers are now assigning sections of books and quizzing students on sections of books.
Or poetry.
I know. To me, it's magic. What goes on in your brain when you're reading? So, what a shame to miss that. I will tell you a quick, happy story.
Please.
One of the things I did in the library was run a junior grade books group for second graders. The little boys just didn't need to be there after a whole day of school, but the little girls were wonderful. And the whole thing about junior grade books is you read a story, usually a short story because they're 7 years old, and then when you discuss it, you can make any statement you want, but you have to refer back to the book or the story to justify what you're saying. Ooh. So one of the brightest little girls was named Laura, and I had her for 2 years doing this. And at the end of the second year, her mom came up to me and she said, well, we're moving, so, Laura will miss being at the library. And I said, oh, my God, she was fantastic. And she said, well, she couldn't read. And I said, no, I did not know she could not read. What are you saying? She was a total participant. And she said in school they were working so hard on the mechanics of it. And we thought this would be something fun for her to do. So we read the book together. Basically, Mom read the story to her, but she had to do all her own thinking, of which she was perfectly capable, and she loved doing it. And finally, the light bulb went on. But what a wonderful family, not to be so discouraged by the time you're at the end of third grade and your child doesn't have the mechanics of reading, but they kept the magic of reading going for her until she got it.
Oh, that's a beautiful story.
We keep hearing.
I thought so too.
We keep hearing these stories about funding is cut for libraries and various different intrusions into the library, and what a portion of our life the library is and should be moving forward. I can't imagine working there now. With as you say, with everything going on and people attacking libraries, it's the one place in the community where absolutely anybody can walk in and spend the whole day if they want. What's your favorite? What are some of your favorite books? What kind of literature do you read?
Well, right now I'm reading a lot of nonfiction, and one of my favorite writers, just in general, and nonfiction and essays, is John McPhee. I'm not sure.
I
if
love John McPhee.
I do too. See, it is genetic. You caught me in an unprepared moment here. I mean, right now I'm reading the new 1929 book by Andrew Ross Sorkin, which is a 500-page tome, but he really writes well. He's a New York Times journalist. I just finished The Correspondent, which is the new hot book, and I really enjoyed that. Oh, the other one, Claire Keegan, an Irish writer, wrote Small Things Like These and Just Foster. And she writes as well in fiction as John McPhee does in nonfiction.
Oh, that's beautiful. What advice? I'm not a big reader. I love information, but I'm a slow reader. What should I do? Go ahead.
Clara Keegan's books are about 125 pages each. You can pretty much read them in one gulp, and they're good for giving presents. I received it as a present last Christmas. So go for a shorter book. Don't take the 500-page ones that I'm slogging through.
Well, you're in a book review club right now, so you're doing a lot of involuntary nonfiction, heavy reading, exactly. Which of course you're up to the task. But
well, and it turns out that the books have been well suggested, so they're all making the top list.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So there's one called I Seek a Kind Person about people in Vienna in right before World War II, but when it was obvious what was going to happen to the Jews, and parents would put an ad in the Manchester Guardian for their teenage children, and one of them said, I seek a kind person to take my son. Desperate to get their children out. Yeah. Another book that just blew me away was called There Is No Place for Us, and it's about working people who fall into homelessness. And it's just devastating. And these are people that have done all the right things, and they still end up homeless, and they don't end up being counted because they're either on relative sofas or they're bouncing around in, crummy motels or whatever. So they're not the ones out on the street. You don't know about the problem. So those are two really strong books.
We're talking to Peg Neal, and she is not just an expert on literature, a former librarian, a flu survivor 2025 who recommends that you get the flu shot, and I'm going to take Gip on this, Peg. But I think the most important credit you bring to this conversation
to this radio show.
To this radio show, yeah. You're Laura's grandma.
Yes, I am. And not only that, she is my first grandchild. She made me a grandma.
Yeah, I get bonus points for that for sure.
She sure does. Yeah.
What is one of your fondest memories of a little Laura?
Oh, and I'm sorry about the cough too. I know you're still recovering.
Oh yeah, let's talk here for an hour. Okay, we'll have you back on this. I'm so sorry.
No, I'm sorry about the cough too, but it's much better than it was.
It really is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't have one fond memory of Laura. I've got a million of them. The first time I saw her, blew me away. I've got a little recording, one of these photo devices where you take a picture and then the child or the person can say something, and she says, I love you very much, Grandma. I play that when the days are down.
That's so cute.
But we've had fun times. We had time in London together. And one time when we were in London, I think you were you were fifth grade. We went to the Globe, and they had like school time off days with all kinds of activities. Well, yeah, the way you remember it, but at the end of it, you had a lot of fun, and I had a lot of fun with you.
They give you a whole behind-the-scenes tour of Shakespeare's The Globe Theater in London, which is still in most of its original form, which is just kind of spectacular to walk around.
But at the end of the day, you said, I thought this was going to be really lame, but it was great.
No, I got to hold the skull on stage and say, Alas, poor Yorick.
Alas, poor Yorick.
Yeah, it was a good tour.
Yeah, so we've had a lot of fun together. We really have.
Yeah.
Well,
we're still having fun together.
We are.
I can hear it in your voice. Peg, you were wonderful. You're a wonderful guest. You're well-spoken, and I love your insights on so many things. It's been an absolute pleasure to have us. You're very, very welcome. And thank you for your first grandchild. I know
you take good care of her when I'm not around, okay?
We try to. We know what a treasure she is.
Spike's always getting on me about putting chains on my car and maintenance, which is actually, it used to be your car down in Oregon that I drive. It's very old, but it's very stable. Yeah.
I love that car. When I get back in it, I go, oh, yes, this is the CRV that I loved.
I was 3 years old in that car. It's the best.
I know.
My gosh.
Yeah.
So how do I get her to...
Not only that...
Go ahead.
I'm not sure if it's still there, but I think 2 summers ago we were out and going someplace in the CRV, and we stopped, and Laura pulled out the same picnic blanket or tablecloth that we had used for 20 years. I was like, this is perfect. Nothing changes.
Nothing changes.
And are you still in Illinois? Is that where home still is for you?
Ohio now.
Oh, I'm so
we moved to Ohio. That's okay. We moved in 2012.
Yeah.
Whereabouts in Ohio?
Columbus.
Oh, are you a Buckeye fan?
No. Well,
I knew I loved you.
We'll probably have the football game on. I was not brokenhearted when they lost to Indiana, but I'm going to get in big trouble for saying that on the air.
Not in this show, you won't. Not at all.
Well, isn't one of the people on one of the other shows the father of a football player?
Yes, look at you, Laura. Yeah, our own G. Scott, his son, G. Scott Jr.
Our whole family was cheering for G. Scott Jr.
I tell you what, I've never been an Ohio State fan in my entire life.
The Ohio State.
Whatever. But I too, because I think G's just a wonderful, wonderful individual. He's a great guy, great citizen, great dad. I actually was rooting for the Buckeyes.
We were cheering for his son.
As was I. Yeah, but now he's graduated and I can forget that. I can get anybody but the Ohio State University. Peg, it's been
you dominates this town. It's amazing.
I can imagine it's tough to be a Michigan fan in that part of the country. Thank you so much.
I'm not a Michigan fan either.
Me neither, bud. Thanks so much for your time and for your wisdom, your memories. We appreciate it. I hope you've had a wonderful Christmas season, and I hope you have a very safe and happy New Year. And thanks so much again for talking to us. My pleasure. Have a great day. Oh, Laura, your grandma's just an absolute treasure. I miss mine more than ever right now. All right, folks, when we come back, we'll take a little trip down memory lane. Laura's been indulging me, leading into my dad core. We'll talk a bit about some more. We had a great time reviewing Twisted Tunes yesterday. We'll do that again in a couple of minutes. And Laura asked me about a couple of my memories of Seattle in the grunge era, and we'll share those with you. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
Thank you to all of our great KIRO News Radio listeners.
This is the moment.
For making the 37th year of Holiday Magic our biggest one yet.
It is a celebration that benefits Treehouse.
Thanks to your generosity and the important work of Treehouse, kids in foster care will have the holiday they wished for.
We ask you to give. You do. You always come through.
You can still donate. Just head to mynorthwest.com/holidaymagic.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
I love the fact that Mike Novak sells more homes than anybody else. This guy works so hard. You know what's happening? People are selling their homes again. And if you don't have Mike Novak's name on that sign, well, you're wasting your time and your house is just going to be sitting on the market. Mike is so confident that he can sell your house quickly. And for more, you'll pay no commission if Mike Novak doesn't sell that home in 21 days. So go to meetthenovaks.com. I'll spell Novaks for you. Novaks. Meetthenovaks.com.
The Boat Show, the Boat Show,
the Big Seattle Boat Show.
The Big Seattle Boat Show. It's the best time to buy. January 30th through February 7th with big selection, big discounts, and big fun for everyone. It's a big deal. Presented by Sundance Yachts and Port of Seattle.
The Boat Show, the Boat Show. You gotta cruise the Boat Show. You won't believe how cool it is. So bring the family.
Details and discount tickets at seattleboatshow.com.
Upgrade your home's comfort and save up to 75% on scratch and dent and overstock equipment at Home Comfort Alliance. Over $3 million worth of heat pumps, furnaces, and air conditioners from top manufacturers like Lennox. All now up to 75% off. Visit homecomfortalliance.com.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
All right, here's a quick confession. The reason Nick, my wife, is going to Longevity Medical Clinic is because why?
I got sick of watching you sleep at night when I was awake.
Wait a minute. Wait. Here's what would happen. I'd be asleep because I've got my hormones balanced, thanks to Longevity Medical Clinic. I'm asleep, and then Nick would go, "Are you asleep? Are you sleeping? That's not fair. I can't sleep." I'm like, "So you're going to wake me up?"
Yes, because I didn't want you to have more energy than I would the next day, and I was up all night.
So what did I say to you? I said, so go to the Longevity Medical Clinic. Do the same thing I did. Get your hormones balanced. You'll sleep better, right?
And I did.
Right. You don't have to wake me up anymore and go, it's not fair that you're sleeping.
I know.
But didn't you see that it wasn't fair that you were waking me up?
Yes, because now you're the one taking the dogs out because I'm still asleep in the morning.
So we're both getting good night's sleep. We're both getting lots of energy, and we're happy.
You want me to tell you why? Because my hormones are now balanced.
Okay, I don't want to hear about your hormones right now. So be like Nick and get a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
The Puyallup Home Remodeling and Outdoor Living Show is where better homes and gardens begin. Everyone gets in free on Friday. Meet top remodelers, explore outdoor living trends, and see Cisco Morris live. Happening January 2nd through the 4th at the Mattress Firm Showplex in Puyallup. Get inspired at the Puyallup Home Remodeling and Outdoor Living Show. Everyone gets in free on Friday. The Puyallup Home Remodeling and Outdoor Living Show is where better homes and gardens begin. On the Washington State Fairgrounds in Puyallup.
Join Northwest Hope and Healing for Cork, Fork, and Support, an afternoon of wine tasting and inspiration, benefiting local breast and gynecologic cancer patients. Get your tickets now for January 31st. Go to nwhopeandhealing.org to learn more.
Thanks to you, Nourishing Neighbors has raised $2.5 million in grocery carts to help families across Washington. Please make a donation at your local Safeway checkout during the holiday season to battle food insecurity. Visit nourishingneighbors.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granello. And a major development for businesses along US 2, the highway between Skykomish and Stevens Pass, is now set to reopen this Sunday. Washington's Transportation Secretary Julie Meredith says they've ensured a key bridge east of Skykomish is safe for travel.
There was at least 5 feet of debris over the bridge here at milepost 54. We had to remove debris above and logs and debris stuffed underneath the bridge.
East of Stevens Pass, the highway is partially reopened to Coles Corner with the pilot car escorting drivers on one-way trips. As we look ahead to 2026, a look back on a survey from 1998 showing what Americans thought today might look like. CBS's Jen Clark explains.
27 years ago, Gallup polled over 1,000 Americans on a landline about what they thought would happen by 2025.
Back to the future.
They predicted that we'd have a black president, that gay marriage would be legal, and a new disease would emerge. However, in 1998, they also thought we'd have a cure for cancer by now and a female president. Americans also thought that people would be living to be 100 years old by 2025. Currently, the average American life expectancy is 78 years. Jen Clark, CBS News.
And now to the closing bell reports. Turns out there was some drama at the Federal Reserve meeting earlier this month when a committee voted to cut a key interest rate.
Minutes from the Federal Reserve meeting December 9th and 10th paint a picture of a deep divide on its 19-member policymaking committee. The committee voted 9-3 to cut the rate by a quarter point for the third time this year, but 2 wanted to keep the rate unchanged and 1 wanted an even larger reduction. If the job market is the biggest threat, the Fed typically cuts rates more, but if inflation is the problem, the bank could keep rates elevated or raise them. Allison Keyes, CBS News, Washington.
Down day overall on Wall Street. The Dow lost 95 points. NASDAQ lost 55. S&P 500 off 10 points. At 1:33 now, we go to the real-time traffic desk, checking in with Nate Connors.
Hey, thanks, Aaron. Overall, we're looking good across the region. No big major backups. In Issaquah, we still have a collision on that 17th Avenue overpass over I-90. Just one northbound lane has reopened. Southbound lanes, you're unaffected by this, and this is, again, right above I-90, so you're going to jam up approaching the seam. JBLM, South 5 has a backup approaching the main gate. Tacoma to Olympia still looking good, though, taking less than 40 minutes. If you're heading into Seattle, South 5, it's heavy from 85th into downtown. Linwood to Seattle is going to take you around 25 minutes. North 5 slows just a bit between the Michigan Curve and I-90. Southbound 405, you're going to slow through Factoria. And in the Canyon Park, both directions of 405 are slow, approaching 527. Looks like just volume here. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Forecast is looking good. It's brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly cloudy, highs in the mid-40s. Tomorrow, also partly cloudy right now. It's looking like it could be a decent fireworks show at the Space Needle when the clock strikes midnight. Spike is laughing in the background. Right now, it is 46 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
When the strike clocks midnight.
Yeah.
That's hard to say.
It is. Clock strikes midnight. Strike clocks midnight. That is tough. I know.
Aaron,
we know what we meant.
I do. And let me just say, we don't get a chance to do this very often. Too often enough, I should say. See how hard it is to speak well?
Yes.
You may be one of the most articulate, well-spoken newscasters that I've ever had the privilege of working with. Seriously. I love how you take your job very seriously. You're doing an exemplary job of delivering the news. But you're human, just like the rest of us.
Yes, I am.
You got kids at home. It's the holidays. And for the strike the clock midnight, small price to pay to have you in this chair, my friend.
Yes, when the strike clocked 7 o'clock this morning, my kid came in screaming and crying, so forgive me.
Oh, no.
Well, it's happened.
Yeah, it does. That's one of the beauty of being a parent is you look at these moments and go, yep, it's all worthwhile.
Yeah.
Are you guys celebrating the New Year's?
Yeah, yes, we are. We're actually having some friends who have kids the similar age.
That's great.
And we're going to do a little 9 o'clock, celebration with them, watch the ball drop in New York, and then they'll go upstairs and we'll go downstairs.
There you go. Hey, look at you. Good. Are you going to make it till midnight?
I think so.
I gave up years ago.
Yeah.
I don't even try anymore.
I think so.
I don't even try anymore. I love that we have New York City's Times Square celebration 3 hours early.
It is nice.
I'm a man of a certain age. Doesn't bother. Okay, midnight. Whatever.
Do you have a preference on which coverage you watch for New Year's celebration in New York? Because right now it's like the Anderson Cooper and on CNN.
I'm a child of Dick Clark.
Yeah, I don't really like anybody today.
I know. I hate feeling dated like that.
I know.
I can't watch the Grammys anymore.
Yeah.
I can't watch most any of the current music shows, award shows, celebrations. I don't know any of these people.
Ryan Seacrest doing it?
He does.
He does it now, yeah.
Ryan Seacrest presents Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve.
That's what it is, yeah.
Still branded as Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably watch. I don't watch anything.
I know.
I wish I was watching football. More football.
There you go.
Thank you, my friend.
Yeah.
First off, did you hear Laura's grandma, by the way?
I did.
When she's
a gem.
I miss my grandma. I didn't realize how much I missed my grandma. We lost. I'm that age. I'm old enough to be a grandpa, but I'm not yet. And I'm bemoaning that, thinking about my first grandchild coming down the pipe someday. We've got a dog instead. It's not really quite the same thing.
It's close.
It is. No, it's not. You're sweet. Your grandma was just wonderful. Well, thank
she's
you
the best.
so much.
Yeah.
Did I hear you guys making a plan for trivia night?
Yeah.
She's sharp. Man. Your grandma's sharp.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
nice.
lucky. I'm so lucky.
You are very lucky. We're talking a little bit about memories, and when Laura asked me what we wanted to do today, Laura asked if we could kind of take a trip down memory lane. In Seattle, I've been here for 36 years in the Great Northwest, and I moved to Seattle in the late 80s, 89. I'll say before grunge hit, grunge was bubbling. Grunge was evolving, was climbing out of the ooze when I moved here. My first years here were when the local bar bands were Alice in Chains and Mother Love Bone.
Whoa.
And a very baby Soundgarden. who didn't even have Ben Shepherd, the original bass player, was still there. He was also inducted in the Hall of Fame this year. Soundgarden, congratulations. And that was my exposure to Seattle in the summer of '89 and the first winter of '89-90. And I watched Mother Love Bone, fall away with Andrews Woods passing, and I watched Mookie Blaylock evolve into Pearl Jam and all those guys. And we were very, very lucky. I was doing the morning show with Bob Rivers at the Rock, 99.9 The Rock, and we were the morning show at the local rock station during grunge. So our friends, and I'd say our friends, I'm being very, very kind to my own self. The station's friend, Katie Faulkner, the late Kathy Faulkner, was our program director, our music director, and Damon Stewart was our new music guru in the show. And so these guys were the ones who listened to the local bands of Mudhoney and My Sister's Machine and all these other local bands. And I forget so many, and I apologize for the people I'm missing out on. But, Soundgarden and Pearl Jam and Alice in Chains, and then Nirvana. But they were Aberdeen and into Seattle. But that whole grunge movement, got to be a part of that. And I was peripherally a part of that. Those guys would come and jump in our show in the mornings from time to time. Or we would see them at various events. We played softball as a station softball team. And every year I may have told you this before, Laura, but every once a year we would get together with the local rock and roll all-stars. We were the KSW Flies, and they were the Fly Swatters. Every week, that's
good.
Every week, this guy's so great. Every week, the station softball team would play a different company around town, and we would, play this manufacturing plant, this Boeing plant, this bakery, this blah blah, whatever it might be. And once a year, we'd play the Fly Swatters, the Rock and Roll All Stars, and members of Soundgarden and Alice in Chains and Pearl Jam and Nirvana would play softball against us.
Whoa.
And thousands of people would come out and watch these softball games at Lower Woodland Field number 6. That one with the concrete backstop.
I know exactly
down.
where that is.
Yeah, and we would, there were times when various bands would come to town, and the bands had jocks in their bands and their road crew, and we'd play various bands that would come to town and play the station's softball team. And it was a great memory in the 90s. We had a party once. I lived in Lower Queen Anne. You've met my friend Rockfish, who's come in and sat with us a couple times on the show. He was my roommate for my first couple years in Seattle, and he was the metal shop, heavy metal guy at the station. We had an apartment in Lower Queen Anne called the Poolside Apartments on Aloha on Lower Queen Anne. And
are they still there?
The apartments are still there. The pool's been filled in for insurance reasons.
Okay.
But
I won't ask questions.
But there's video of all those guys from these, not all those guys, but several guys from these various bands, War Babies, a lot of Tommy Gunn, a lot of bands, jumping off the third floor deck into the swimming pool below. I've got video of Lane Staley, the late Lane Staley of Alice in Chains, strapping on Rockfish's 8th grade football helmet and jumping from the third floor deck into the pool below. Which I was able to give the video to Lane's mom after he passed. We had
my gosh.
We had wonderful memories of the rock scene in Seattle, and we spent a couple weeks living on a billboard once as part of the morning show. We lost a bet to a radio station in Phoenix during the NBA playoffs, and the Bob Rivers Show had to live on a billboard on Leary down there at Inner Bay for 12, 13 days. We lived on this billboard. We broadcast from the billboard every morning from 6 to 10. We'd set up tents on the there was 2 back-to-back billboards.
Yeah.
Between them, there was 8 foot between the two.
Okay.
And it had a wood bedding down. So we would set up
comfy.
tents.
Yeah.
A little refrigerator. It was very comfy.
You had a mini fridge up there?
We had a mini fridge up on the billboard, so we'd have to go down to get refreshments. But as this 10-day excursion evolved, we ended up putting in a hot tub.
What?
We had a local hot tub store come in and put a hot tub down below the billboards.
Well, you must have had looky-loos too, right? People knew where you were.
People came. We broadcast live. People came by all the time.
Yeah.
Alice in Chains, Sean Kenny and Jerry Cantrell from Alice in Chains stopped by one morning at 6 a.m. They've been filming a video for MTV for I think it was the song No Excuses, but they stopped by at 6 in the morning after their overnight video shoot to stop by and do the morning show with us.
That's amazing. On the billboard. They climbed up there with you?
Climbed up on the billboard with us, and we broadcast live. We had put up big screen TVs below on the parking lot below. It was at the U-Haul store in Inner Bay there. We put up big screen TVs down below, and we would have people come watch the NBA games. We had lost a bet with the Phoenix station when the Suns played the Bulls in the finals, and we watched the NBA games down below. And it was the greatest time. We had a fishing line with a basket on it. People could give us food.
I used to do that.
We'd lower down the basket and they'd send up
from my
treats.
bunk bed as a kid.
No, with a basket and a fishing line? Yeah. So thanks for letting me trip out down there.
Oh my God, you've got a million stories. I feel like we have to unlock more of them from you.
One day I got to drive Eddie Vedder from a softball game at Laura Woodland back to the station to do some on-air stuff. In my 66 Volkswagen Beetle, and he pulled out a Sharpie and started doodling on the dashboard of my 66 Beetle, and it's still there today. That doodle is still on that car's dashboard today. Yeah, nice.
We need to get a picture of that on our on our social media.
I'll snap one for you.
I need to see that.
We were going to do something totally different this break, but I got lost in my own mind again. Thank you, Laura. You're wonderful. And thanks again to Peg, your grandma, for coming on. She's wonderful. Get a flu shot, everybody. We're not kidding. We mean it. When we come back, we'll play a song we made about the flu for Peg, who's a survivor. We'll be right back after these.
The Closing Bell is brought to you by Trajan Wealth Management.
Charbonnet breaks the tackle and he's in. Touchdown, Seahawks!
Setting up the biggest game of the season.
A critical, huge NFC West battle against the San Francisco 49ers.
It's a heavyweight fight. Winner of the game wins the division. Winner is the #1 seed.
Holy catfish!
It doesn't get any bigger than this.
Let's go do it. Let's go rip it.
Seahawks 49ers. Saturday, kickoff at 5.
On KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done, with precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way, with a dedication to lasting quality, trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-771-1300. That's 800-771-1300.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event this Friday, January 2nd through Sunday, January 25th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event starting this Friday. Discover the D.R. Horton difference. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
John Curley here. We value things that last. Local businesses, relationships, community. That's Madrona Financial and CPAs. They've been serving Washington families for decades, combining taxes and investments under one roof. Most firms just do one or the other, but not both. That's why Madrona offers the Madrona Analysis, a simple review of income, taxes, and investments in one plan. Call 833-673-7373 for your complimentary Madrona Analysis. Madrona Financial and CPAs, local, trusted, and here to put the whole picture together.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
dayandnight.net. An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
WSECU is proud to be the credit union for Washington. As a cooperative, we understand the value of teamwork by working together with members and communities all across our state, north to south, east to west. We span mountain ranges, not for profit, but for people, because relationships matter, and banking is better when it's better for everyone. We're WSECU, the credit union for Washington. Join us.
Start the new year taking active liver supplements from New Nordic. Online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com or at CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery, or Wegmans.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit buckys.com.
Nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all. Sound like your home? Then call for your free inspection.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
Welcome back to the Jake and Spike Show. I'm Spike O'Neill. My good friend Jake Skorheim taking time with his family during this holiday week, holiday season. We hope you guys are having a great holiday this year. If you're back to work like Laura and I and Andrew and Nate and Aaron are, we appreciate you guys giving us time of your day today to join us. Laura, you have, I got to tell you, man, your grandma, I just love her. She's
Welcome
amazing.
to the club.
Yeah. And Laura's grandma survived a bout with the flu this year. And Laura's grandma is a strong proponent of the flu shot. The World Health Organization says that this year's flu variants are very dangerous. They're spreading like crazy. Washington's one of the states that hasn't been hit very severely yet. But Louisiana, Texas, Massachusetts, there have been many states that are having just horrific bouts with this year's flu. The extreme cold is one of the reasons that the flu has been so invasive this year. We mentioned, Laura, your grandma mentioned that you put a humidifier in your room when you had the flu. Mm-hmm. Humidity is one of the things that helps fight the flu bug because drier air, one of the reasons that cold weather helps flu spread, drier air helps flu particles decimate more broadly and helps transfer the flu. Wash your hands, get plenty of rest, drink lots of fluids. It's not a thing if you exercise, people that drives your immunities down and makes you susceptible. That's not the case at all. It's a myth. But just take care of yourself if you get the flu this year. We made a twisted tune about the flu.
Get the flu shot. Don't get the flu.
I'm sorry, get the flu shot. Take care of yourself and get a flu shot this year. And your grandma it convinced me that I'm going to get a flu shot this year. We've been talking about reminiscing down memory lane about Seattle and twisted tunes. We made this Christmas twisted tune a few years ago about the flu, so please enjoy.
Just hear those noses sniffling, sore throats tickling too. Come on, it's lousy weather to be suffering inside with the flu. Outside the snow is falling, your fever's at 102. Let's take some Alka-Seltzer and a box of antihistamines too.
We'll bring some Kleenex with us and sing a chorus or two. Let's let my red nose lead us on a sleigh ride in spite of the flu.
Hack it up, plug it up, let's go. Fat chunks in the snow. We're coughing up a yellow and green rainbow.
Cough it up, cough it up, cough it up. Oh man, there's some on my head. My glands are puffed and swollen, and every hour I pee. My throat's as rough as leather and raspy as it can be. Let's take some Kleenex with us and sing a carol or two. We'll make our noses red on a sleigh ride to go with the flu.
My kid came home from preschool with a cough today. He'll infect the whole darn neighborhood in about a day.
We'll be calling in sick to work until the diarrhea stops.
At the pharmacy we'll get lots more pills to pop. Pop, pop, pop.
I took every medication I can legally buy.
For the coughing, sneezing, sniffling, and the watery eyes.
I'll be getting real drunk on NyQuil. I'll take contact till I'm high.
Whoa. This wonderful buzz is great, but I'm glad I don't have to drive. Just hear those noses sniffling, sore throats tickling too. Come on, it's lousy weather to be suffering inside with the flu. Outside the snow is falling, your fever's at 102. Come on, it's lousy weather for a flu ride together with you. Ba-ba-ba-da-da.
Thank you very much. I forgot the grotesque sound effects we put on that years and years ago.
I asked while it was playing, was that you?
Yeah, it was
there
me.
we go.
That's all those. That was me. That's my contribution. That was Sue Nixon was the artist we found to sing the Karen Carpenter parody there. She's currently working with a band called Nearly Dan. They do a Steely Dan tribute. If you get a chance to see them, they're phenomenal. Go see them. I highly recommend it. We thank you guys for being part of our show. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. We got another hour to go today. As the lovely and intelligent Peg Neal, Laura's grandma, tells you, it's a tough flu season this year. Get your flu shots. It's worth every minute of it. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about speaking of health and flu shots, the escalating cost of healthcare in this country, given the loss of subsidies coming our way January of the ACA subsidies that are going away this year. We'll also dig in a little bit to the one of Seattle's institutions, the Canlis Restaurant, did an amazing thing to celebrate their 75th anniversary, and a review that they got that I'm amazed that food critics have the cojones they bring to their writing. I'll be right back after these. Don't go anywhere.
Happy holidays and Merry Christmas, everyone. It's John Curley from KIRO Radio's John Curley Show. Remember, the greatest present you can give is yourself. Your presence is the greatest present. Besides, it's really hard to re-gift your Uncle Bob. It makes a lot of noise in the box. From all of us here at KIRO Radio and the John Curley Show, have yourself a Merry Christmas and, of course, a Happy New Year.
From KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
The Puyallup Home Remodeling and Outdoor Living Show is where better homes and gardens begin. Everyone gets in free on Friday. Meet top remodelers, explore outdoor living trends, and see Cisco Morris live. Happening January 2nd to the 4th at the Mattress Firm Showplex in Puyallup. Get inspired at the Puyallup Home Remodeling and Outdoor Living Show. Everyone gets in free on Friday. The Puyallup Home Remodeling and Outdoor Living Show is where better homes and gardens begin. On the Washington State Fairgrounds in Puyallup.
Guys, if your energy is low, your strength isn't what it used to be, or your drive feels off, it's not just getting older. For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, you can start with a free T-check, exam, and consultation, so you get real answers about your testosterone levels and overall health. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. This isn't guesswork or one-size-fits-all treatment. Revive specializes in personalized, closely monitored testosterone care designed to help men feel stronger, sharper, and more like themselves again. With over 120,000 patients treated since 2011, Revive Men's Health is trusted for results, not hype. If you've been putting this off, now is the time to act. Claim your free T-check and consultation and see if you qualify for 25% off TRT. This month only. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply, must medically qualify.
It's a cold winter night and your furnace dies. Don't let this happen to you. If your system's 12 years or older, upgrade now to a Mitsubishi electric heating and air conditioning system from Home Comfort Alliance and stay warm. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news.
A minimum wage increase proposal is moving forward in unincorporated King County.
KIRO News Radio.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
D.R. Horton's National Red Tag Sales Event starts this Friday, January 2nd. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Cammie McCormick. An order unsealed today reveals Justice Department officials pushed for a criminal indictment of Kilmar Abrego Garcia only after he'd been mistakenly deported to El Salvador. Camilo Montoya Galvez has more.
He was only brought back in June to face criminal charges related to allegations that he smuggled undocumented immigrants along the U.S.-Mexico border. The emails also show that top administration officials at the Justice Department in Washington were heavily involved in the decision over whether to prosecute Abrego Garcia. One top administration official at the Justice Department in D.C. called it a top priority for the administration to bring those criminal charges.
A judge has decided a man accused of planting pipe bombs in Washington ahead of the Capitol riot will remain behind bars for now. Scott McFarland has that.
A marathon hearing between 2 and 3 hours over this matter of whether Brian Cole of Woodbridge, Virginia should be held in custody until trial in his case or released under home confinement and restriction until his trial in the case. The judge said it was so complicated an argument and such a complicated matter he couldn't decide today and will decide likely in the coming days as early as tomorrow or Friday.
The daughter of Caroline Kennedy has died. Tatiana Schlossberg was 35. Emma Friedman has more.
Schlossberg published an essay in The New Yorker in November where she revealed to the public that she had been battling acute myeloid leukemia. She was diagnosed with the blood cancer in May of last year after giving birth to her second child. In her essay, she also criticized policies pushed by Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., her mother's cousin.
Beginning New Year's Day, some states will ban SNAP recipients from buying junk food with their benefits, as Michael Wallace reports.
Iowa, Nebraska, Utah, West Virginia, and Indiana will no longer accept SNAP for soda, candy, and other junk food. Mitch Rube is the Secretary of Indiana's Family and Social Services.
It's called the Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program. Sugary drinks and candy are not nutritional.
Retail groups say there are no complete lists of the banned food, so they predict confusion at the checkout counter and a lot of customer complaints.
Allison Keyes reports on newly released minutes from the Fed showing some some reservations about the recent interest rate cut.
The decision to cut the Fed's key interest rate by a quarter point for the third time this year was approved by a 9-3 vote, but that is unusual for a committee that usually works by consensus. Minutes of that meeting show it is divided over whether weak hiring or inflation are the biggest threat to the economy, and even some Fed officials who supported the rate cut did so with reservations based on outdated information.
On Wall Street today, stocks finished lower. The Dow was off nearly 95 points. This is CBS News.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Not only does Progressive let you bundle your insurance, they also give you round-the-clock protection. Quote today at Progressive.com.
Well, some big news if you're looking to hit the slopes at Stevens Pass. But first, Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
All right, Northwest Hope and Healing has our update. Nice sunny afternoon out there, but it is a low hanger, and it's right in your eyes if you're headed west or southbound. South 5 into Seattle is crowded at Ravenna there in the U District down to I-90. It's just 20 minutes, though, from Linwood to Seattle. Our lake bridges are all clear. South 405 is heavy through Factoria. Just briefly, though, Bellevue to Renton will take you 25 minutes tops. Both directions of 405 remain heavy through Canyon Park. Down in Kent, southbound 167 at 516, traffic comes to a halt there. Looks like we might have a new collision, and you're backed up to South 212. On the water, the Edmonds Ferry Terminal reporting a 1-hour wait for drivers. Due to low tides, the Port Townsend-Coupeville route will cancel today's 3:30 sailing out of Port Townsend and the 4:15 out of Coupeville. And looking at our passes, Snoqualmie, Blewett, and White are all sunny and clear right now and no restrictions. Join Northwest Hope and Healing for Cork, Fork, and Support, an afternoon of wine tasting and inspiration. Get your tickets now for January 31st at nwhopeandhealing.org. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Highway 2 now set to fully reopen this Sunday from Skykomish to Stevens Pass. KIRO 7 TV's Jack Billieu reports that is weeks ahead of schedule.
The main problem there was a bridge that had been covered in about 5 feet of debris. WashDOT tells us they cleared out all that debris. They were able to get some folks in to make an inspection. They did find some damage to that bridge, but they say nothing that makes it impossible to travel on.
On the east side of Stevens Pass, Highway 2 is partially reopened. A pilot car is guiding drivers on one-way trips from Coles Corner. Man accused of stealing a Washington State Patrol car on Christmas Day now faces some serious charges. Prosecutors say Alexander Smith assaulted a trooper on I-5 in Seattle, stole her patrol car, then led officers on a dangerous chase that ended in a crash, injuring another trooper. Smith remains in custody on $300,000 bail. Investigators say he admitted to using meth before that incident. Meantime, a resurgence of meth is being linked to 2 recent arrests in Thurston County. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey explains.
Sunday afternoon, a deputy says he spotted a stolen scooter and held the driver at gunpoint.
Rider, hands up! Get on the ground!
When backup arrived, they handcuffed the suspect.
Do you have any weapons on you?
No. Later that night, the same deputy stopped a truck that came back stolen and arrested that driver too. Investigators say in both cases they found meth on the suspects, a drug making a comeback nationwide. The DEA expects to seize double the amount of meth nationwide this year compared to last year. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Flu cases are on the rise in Western Washington. On average, cases are trending to be more severe. Alex Greninger is a professor of virology with the University of Washington Medicine.
Flu actually hasn't peaked. It's only increasing right now. It probably has a few more weeks before it peaks. And then once you hit a peak, you still got the other 50% of all the cases to come.
If you have not gotten your flu shot yet, Greninger says it is still well worth it. Weather now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Looking at a nice day, plenty of sunshine out there. And temperatures in the mid-40s this afternoon. Similar day tomorrow with highs once again in the mid-40s. Right now, 46 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
everyone. Happy Tuesday to you. I'm Spike O'Neill. Jake Skorheim's enjoying time with the family, much deserved time with the family during this holiday season. Hope you're doing the same. And if you're at work today, thanks for giving us your afternoon. We hope we're doing a good stewardship of that time. We have a lot of stuff scheduled for this hour. We're going to talk a little bit about the Affordable Care Act, and the loss of federal subsidies is going to cause a lot of insurance premiums to rise. Nearly 20 million Americans are active participants in the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare, and they're looking at premiums rising without the federal subsidies that were put in place during the pandemic, and those expired. The government could not find a way to find a solution to ease the pain on American citizens. But it's not just those who are involved with subscribing to the Affordable Care Act policies through the Obamacare. It's estimated that all insurance across America will rise on average about 7%. If you've got a private insurance company, if you're an employer insurance company, that's the way insurance works. As one group takes on more risk and premiums raise, all groups help that risk spreads across the entirety of the insurance platform. So even if you're not an Obamacare or an ACA subscriber or participant, we can all look forward to our insurance premiums going up in the very near future because of the lack of federal subsidies with regard to our health insurance. And listen, you folks who are opposed to extending these subsidies, I understand. It doesn't help ease the incredible cost of healthcare coverage in this country. It doesn't address the issues of insurance companies making incredible profits, record profits on us as a population who needs health coverage. The cost of healthcare is one of the main factors in our personal budgets, our federal budget, all those things. But eliminating these federal subsidies, it doesn't do anything to ease the cost of insurance or health care. It just places that burden squarely on the taxpayer. And we've already paid our taxes, but now, instead of using some of that tax money to help subsidize the cost of health care, we get to pay those taxes in full and then pay the additional high cost of health care directly out of pocket. It's going to just crush a lot of people. Estimated 20 million Americans will lose health care coverage because of these subsidies. But that's a conversation, let's save that for January when everybody's serious. It's the holiday season. Laura found this story, and it's wonderfully great news, and I want to share that. Laura, I appreciate you very, very much. You've done great work this year. Here's an extra quarter. You're the best.
Thanks.
Yeah. So in Teaneck, New Jersey, a local music store who specialized in acoustic instruments, mandolins particularly in this case, was shoplifted, was the victim of retail shoplifting theft, with which a lot of businesses are subjected to these days. In fact, a man who snuck 2 world-class mandolins into his winter coat got walked out of the store with 2 mandolins. He literally casually in a secluded corner of the store, a small music store, independent contractor. It wasn't like a Guitar Center or something like that. It was a small shop, Lark Street Music in particular in Teaneck, New Jersey. Gentleman walked in and under surveillance camera, stuffed a mandolin into his big winter coat and was ready to walk out, but looked around, noticed that he hadn't been observed, and went back and grabbed a second mandolin and stuffed that into his winter coat and walked out. Well, the stores realized the mandolins were missing. They posted something on their Facebook page. Then the story was picked up locally by news. And here's why the story was picked up by local news, because the thief, 4 days later, had a change of heart. The shop owners noticed that someone walked into the store and just quickly bent over to set something down and walked right back out. And when they walked over to see what was going on, they noticed this guy pop into their store because they'd just been shoplifted, a little more aware than usual. The thief returned the 2 mandolins. Wasn't caught, just had a change of heart. A Christmas miracle, if you will. The 2 mandolins were returned in perfect condition inside a shopping bag, accompanied with a note that said, "Sorry, I've been drunk. Merry Christmas. You're good, man." That's all the note said. And these 2 mandolins were returned.
I feel like it's such a almost technically, like, a suspiciously perfect crime for him to just be like, sorry, I was drunk. Like, to steal 2 mandolins of so much value and to, like, kind of put them in your coat and do the whole bend and snap trick.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay.
But apparently when it went viral, maybe the pressure of the whole situation kind of started to close around him.
I wonder if that was it was, or did he just have a genuine change of heart?
It's Christmas.
It's Christmas. Maybe I think you're right. It was going viral in the Facebook page. And these are very specific instruments, these two mandolins, worth thousands of dollars. The Lark Street Music put a post on their Facebook page. That's how we found the story. That's how the local ABC affiliate got in touch with them and reported the good news and during the holidays. Facebook post said, "Recovered. Thank you all for spreading the clip of the theft of the two mandolins. An hour ago, the thief serendipitously opened the front door and returned them in 2 shopping bags. I ran up the front door and saw him running down the street. So summoning all my fleetness, I took off after him. Not so smart. I lost him. I called 911, and they are in pursuit now. They want to catch this guy. Your reposts and pressure definitely made him realize the walls were closing in. I don't know. I like to think he had a genuine change of heart.
I like your optimism.
The ghosts of mandolin players past.
Yeah, he was visited over several nights.
Yeah.
On Facebook.
On Facebook, yeah. Every time he ran in, he saw his... And I mean, and that's the thing about this guy's clearly on video copping these two mandolins and stuff him into his jacket.
If you were the store owner, would you have chased him? Because that feels dangerous to me. And you already got back the items.
Yeah.
But do you need that justice?
Maybe. That's a very emotional decision to chase after a thief. It is dangerous. You're right. It's very dangerous.
But you're right. It's fight or flight. Like, you're not really reasoning that one out.
Anybody dingy enough to shop, if it's going to be dingy enough to maybe take a swing at you or be armed with something, and maybe, you don't know if it's these days a drunk seems like a very low risk perpetrator, given some of the other addictions people are dealing with these days and how dangerous people who are dealing with addiction can be. It was a warm-hearted story that really tickled me, and I'm really glad you brought it to our attention, Laura. This wonderful story. Now the other, first off, we've got a guest coming up in about 15 minutes, I want to say.
Yes.
Laura's put this together for us. Thank you very much. If you all haven't had the pleasure of experiencing Canlis, the fine iconic Seattle restaurant on Aurora Avenue, right at the foot of the Aurora Bridge, been there since a Seattle institution since 1950. We've got one of the owners going to join us because they did a little something special to celebrate their 75th anniversary.
75 years in the restaurant industry. I mean, that's unfathomable.
I think this is the third generation of owners that have the family has kept this restaurant, and it didn't sell out to big corporations. But we're going to have one of the owners of Canlis. I think Mark is going to join us, if I'm mistaken.
Yep, Mark
Canlis is going to join us at 2:30. We're going to speak with him about their celebrating their anniversary and how you survive in this tough industry for so long. And I want to talk to them about the review that the Seattle Times put out in December that is just scathing. Something else is up. There's a personal issue. Let's talk a little bit about AI, though. And this is, we're trying to avoid really serious stuff, but this one I can't ignore any longer. We had a story earlier today about AI. And actually it was Luke's story yesterday during his Tech Talk features that we run on My Northwest, how AI has helped to make SeaTac more efficient. Seattle Tacoma International Airport, or C now. It's just C now. It's not SeaTac anymore. SEA. It'll always be SeaTac to me. 12th busiest airport in America by volume, which makes sense. We're about the 12th largest city in America. Metropolitan market, I should say, media market. But Seattle has the smallest footprint for square footage and land and land, how much land it occupies than any other major airport in the 50 largest airports in America. Seattle is the smallest. We're geographically locked in. We can't have expansion. And, when airports, when Denver put their new airport in, it's an hour from Denver, literally the airport, because it's massive. It's a major hub. And they needed the space. It was smart to put it out where they put it, but SeaTac doesn't have the luxury. So SeaTac uses AI to look at literally every different, every mechanical, all the mechanism of getting planes ins and outs. And they make sure it's efficient as possible so that even though we're small, we are an efficient airport. That's great. But AI, I read a story earlier this week, how quickly AI is adapting and growing and learning, and how AI is now forming political opinion in this country. AI has become, I don't want to say weaponized, but mechanized with regard to our political dialogue, our discourse in this country. And the thing about AI is AI just reacts. AI uses all of the information that the earth has accumulated, that news and science and history, all blah, blah, blah. AI just takes everything out there and gives you one blender full, like a smoothie of information. Problem is, the smoothie doesn't care what you dump into the blender. And AI reacts to just information that's in the infosphere, that's out there in the ether. Misinformation carries the same weight in AI as valid information. And when you get garbage in, you get garbage out. And, bad apples, bad actors in the political arena are using misinformation, disinformation to pollute how we use AI and how AI delivers us what we seek. I personally don't use AI from a building standpoint, from a production standpoint. I know a lot of people in the building so far. The company has taken great effort to give us the AI tools we can use to be more efficient in our work, to make sure we give you the news, the accurate news that you come to the station for. I have been slow to that because I'm of a previous bygone era. I like to read. But I often, when I seek information, there's an AI mode on all, search now that lets you just take all the different stories and give you one concise, that's exactly what AI is supposed to do, give you the concise answer.
And I have to say, I use it a lot as a producer. When you or Jake have a question pop up, what was that movie? Who was that actor? I type it into Google, and now I don't have to scroll through a Wikipedia page. It just summarizes
and it's right
the
there
most
at your
likely
fingertips.
answer at the top. It's not always correct.
No, it's a great tool.
But it's a really useful tool.
It really is, and I too. But luckily there's no one who's trying to purposefully make you think that Christian Bale was a James Bond. And if that's the thing where it comes into the political arena. Public opinion sways votes, and that's how we get our information. We vote based on our feelings, and we fall into these information silos. It's funny, we have these two news channels on in the studio at all times, one leaning left, one leaning right, and we can watch how they cover the exact same story from two different skewed perspectives with two different news information agendas. And it's like, I can't believe I'm watching the same story on the same planet sometime when I watch these two networks cover these news stories. And when you're talking about driving a public opinion, with regard to politics, it can be very dangerous. So I don't know. What's the solution to that? I don't know. Don't trust what they're now teaching college courses on they're teaching young minds how to verify. And I wish my generation could take a class on how to fact check something, how to verify information.
You know what that would be great at is a local public library. How to decipher AI images or AI text. That feels like something that should be a class that people could take. Because I feel like I can spot AI more easily than older people. And
you mean
there's
in
tells.
text or in video?
Both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
What tells? It's a great point. What tells?
If a video is unrealistic, but then the quality is suspiciously low, that's a trick to have you kind of to obscure that it might be AI. There's like blurriness and on the edges of things, or shadows are slightly off.
A video today.
Yeah.
But we've said before, and we'll say it again, today's version of AI is the worst version we'll ever have to look at. It'll be better tomorrow, in a month from now. I can't believe how quickly AI has evolved. I remember a year ago when we said, well, in a couple of years, you won't be able to tell reality from AI. It didn't take a couple of years, it took a couple of months. I see a bunch of ads now. When I go through my social media feed, I'm scrolling through things. I'll see ads pop up on my social media feed, and they're for whatever. But they're not real actors anymore. If the 60-something-year-old woman selling or promoting a health product, she's just got wonderful skin and she looks so, not a single crow's foot on her face, because she's not real. I'm getting all these ads. I don't know if my wife is sending me these. I'm getting all these ads lately for Tai Chi, right? How men can transform their body in just 8 weeks, whatever, through Tai Chi. And I'm seeing these beautiful models interviewing these 70-year-old Asian men with no shirts that look like they're just chiseled physiques, but they're all AI. None of them are human. You can't trust anything. We're already at the point where you can't trust what you see. And now we're going to be talking about political ads, where you've got this candidate saying something and it's not the candidate. It's not something they said. It's completely false. And it's funny how political ads are protected by free speech protection, where you're allowed to use misinformation in a political ad. You can use AI to generate any message you want to get out to your electorate. And I know both sides are guilty of this. I'm not trying to one-side this. I'm not trying to claim any moral superiority or high ground on this. Both sides have this capability, and both sides will do this to win. I think that's a flaw in all of our politics, both sides of the aisle. But when you don't hold political ads to the same standard you hold food ads, for example, by law, as an advertiser trying to sell you products, you can't give misinformation. You can't falsely represent what your product does or what the ingredients of your product are. But that doesn't apply to politics. That blows my mind. But politics is far more important, I think, than how well your garage door opens, how many miles per gallon your car gets, even what's in your food or your medication or the side effects of a pharmaceutical. You can't give misinformation when you're trying to advertise commodities. But when you're advertising our leaders and the policies they promote and the priorities they bring to an election cycle, you can lie through your teeth, and you can use AI to do it. I wonder what we do to combat that. Laura, you're right. We should have classes teaching people how to verify information, how to fact check. Kids are, I'm glad the kids are now being taught how there are courses available, as I mentioned, how to fact check a story. All good education teaches kids how to think, doesn't teach kids just how to answer questions. It's not memorization. I think far too often our education funding is based on how test results come in. So teachers in various school districts teach 2 tests to get scores up, to get funding to come in. It's supposed to teach kids how to think, how to solve problems, how to analyze. That's what America's missing, and my generation worse than ever. Seniors these days, we come from an era that used to be trustworthy, and now I don't think it is anymore. It's a sad state, and I hope we all get to learn better. Anyway, thanks for letting me rant. When we come back, we'll speak to the owner of a Seattle icon, celebrating 75 years, the 75th anniversary. So Jake and Spike Show will be right back.
Thank you to all of our great KIRO News Radio listeners.
This is the moment.
For making the 37th year of Holiday Magic our biggest one yet.
It is a celebration that benefits Treehouse.
Thanks to your generosity and the important work of Treehouse, kids in foster care will have the holiday they wished for.
We ask you to give. You do. You always come through.
You can still donate. Just head to mynorthwest.com/holidaymagic.
30 years ago, Davis Law Group was founded to be the best law firm for our clients and our community. Our core values are to win, help, and serve. It means our success is defined by the difference we make in our clients' lives and the impact we can have in our community. Not by giant settlement checks or shiny offices. Our mission to lift up the vulnerable extends beyond the courtroom to our charity partners, promoting safety, uplifting students, accident victims, foster youth, and the elderly. If you've been injured and want better results for your claim and for all of Washington, call Davis Law Group today.
What does VA mean to me?
A place for my daughter to call home, thanks to the VA Home Loan.
A new lease on life. The best healthcare team I've ever had is here at VA.
And education, and the opportunity to open doors I never thought possible with my GI Bill.
The financial support I need to manage the disabilities I developed because of my service.
Get what you earned. Visit choose.va.gov.
Not all veterans are eligible for the type or amount of benefits mentioned here.
It's clogged again.
Your drain?
Just had it cleared.
You didn't call Apollo Plumbing.
How can you tell?
Because your drain's clogged again.
So frustrating.
We can clear that drain.
That's what the last guy said.
We'll clear it, guaranteed.
He said that too.
Apollo Plumbing will clear your drain, or it's free.
Wait, what?
Apollo Plumbing clears your drain.
Or it's free?
Yep.
What's the catch?
No catch.
Fine print?
Apollo Plumbing clears your main drain for $83.
$83, or it's free?
And we'll even give you a camera inspection.
Because?
It's the best way to find what's causing your clog.
But that's extra.
Nope, included.
No extra charge?
Not 1 cent.
$83, or it's free.
All it takes is an accessible outside cleanout.
And an Apollo plumber.
No clog is safe from Apollo Plumbing.
And just like that, my main drain is...
draining again.
How can you...
Apollo plumbers are that good.
$83, or it's free.
You call, we come.
My drain's draining again.
Guaranteed.
$83, or it's free.
As it should be.
Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Boy, am I glad to be done with my holiday shopping.
Oh, I know.
And now I just want to relax.
Me too. Well, except there's one more store we should check out.
Oh, no way.
Because this week, we can get a Samsung, LG, or Sony TV at an incredible price.
Really? Where?
At Video Only's year-end clearance sale. They're really cutting deals.
Because the holidays are over?
Yep. So this is our chance to get what we wanted for Christmas.
Are the prices really that good?
Yes. For 7 days they are. And Video Only has those top-rated models we were thinking about all on sale.
All right. The best stuff cheap is worth a trip.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Did you know that 25% of your home's heat loss is through your attic? Hot air rises, and if your attic isn't properly insulated, the hot air is going to rise right through your ceiling, into your attic, and out your roof that's far past its half-life. That sounds cold and expensive. Hey, this is Jake Skorheim. If this sounds like your house, it's time to call Valentine. And right now, Valentine has a great winter special. Bundle attic insulation with any new roof, and you'll save an additional 10% off your entire project. Plus, with Valentine's financing options, they make it easy. No matter what your home needs, insulation, gutters, siding, or a new roof, you are guaranteed the Valentine experience. Seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service, even in winter weather. My home is protected by Valentine. They keep me off the roof, which my wife and kids are extremely grateful for. I trust them to help you too. To lock in your winter bundle savings, call 206 Roofing today. Again, that's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine vans, you know your home is in good hands. 206 Roofing.
WSECU is proud to be the credit union for Washington. As a cooperative, we understand the value of teamwork by working together with members and communities all across our state, north to south, east to west. We span mountain ranges, not for profit, but for people, because relationships matter, and banking is better when it's better for everyone. We're WSECU, the credit union for Washington. Join us.
It's officially Subaru season, and now is the perfect time to upgrade. Subaru of Puyallup has a great selection of 2025 models with exceptional savings, including the all-weather favorites, the Crosstrek and Outback. Don't miss the 2025 Subaru Share the Love event, where Subaru and Subaru of Puyallup donate $350 to charity for every new vehicle purchased. Start shopping today at SubaruofPuyallup.com. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership.
I love the fact that Mike Novak sells more homes than anybody else. This guy works so hard. You know what's happening? People are selling their homes again. And if you don't have Mike Novak's name on that sign, well, you're wasting your time and your house is just going to be sitting on the market. Mike is so confident that he can sell your house quickly. And for more, you'll pay no commission if Mike Novak doesn't sell that home in 21 days. So go to meetthenovaks.com. I'll spell Novaks for you. Novaks. Meetthenovaks.com. John Curley here. When your house feels colder than it should, comfort matters. For heating, plumbing, or electrical, call the comfort people at Home Comfort Alliance or visit homecomfortalliance.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granello. A key stretch of highway is reopening this weekend after severe storm damage shut it down nearly 3 weeks ago. US 2 from Skykomish to Stevens Pass is set to fully reopen on Sunday. Governor Bob Ferguson says the rest of the highway still needs a lot of repairs.
It's still going to be, I think it's fair to say, months. That is a certainty before the highway's restored to what it was before this natural disaster.
A pilot car is still escorting drivers on the eastern side of Highway 2 between Stevens Pass and Coles Corner. Meantime, KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Sheldon reports King County has extended its emergency proclamation due to flood damage.
Several parts of King County dealt with serious flooding. In Falls City and Carnation, the Snoqualmie River hit record heights. The Green and White Rivers also spilled over their banks in Auburn. And the county's assessing damage from 2 different levee breaches. The Green River prompted evacuations in Tukwila and Kent. And a break in Pacific just a day later forced people to leave their homes along the White River there.
Starting next week, the state is canceling midday sailings between Mukilteo and Clinton for 9 non-consecutive days. Ferry spokesperson Diane Rhodes says they need to fix a wall that was damaged by a hard landing a few years back.
In order to position that and kind of get it back into place, we need to drive pilings deeper into the seafloor to make it more resilient for the future so that doesn't happen again.
First closure is scheduled for Tuesday. Seattle's bike and scooter share program hit a milestone this year, 10 million rides. That is double from last year. KIRO 7 TV's Paolo Tristan Arruda has more.
That's the equivalent of each resident in Seattle taking 12 trips in 2025. There were also several projects this year that were crucial in closing gaps in Seattle's bike lane network. In 2025, SDOT added and upgraded more than 13 miles of protected bike lanes. In 2026, ahead of the World Cup, officials are looking to more than triple bike and scooter parking downtown.
Now to the roadways at the real-time traffic desk at 2:33. Here's Nate Connors.
Thanks, Aaron. Let's update you on our Valley Freeway first. Southbound on the Valley Freeway, 25-minute drive between Renton and Auburn due to a couple of collisions there at State Route 516. So one is partially blocking your on-ramp. We have a tow-on scene. The other blocks the left lane on the main line, and you're backed up to 180th. Once you get through this, though, it's looking good. You're all the way down to Pacific, where we're just seeing minor slowing right now. Up in Everett, South 5, just past State Route 526, a car is stuck in the ditch on the left side of the freeway. I can't tell from the camera if a lane is blocked there as well, or if drivers are just slowing down to check it out. But you will jam up at the scene. You're backed up to Lowell Road. Everett to Seattle has a 10-minute delay. Once you clear this back up, you're wide open all the way to hit the U District, where it's slow down to I-90. Now, North 5, just past the West Seattle Bridge, you've got a new collision blocking 2 left general purpose lanes. Westbound 512 through South Hill, stop and go between the South Hill Curve and Canyon Road. I think this is just a sun glare backup, and Tacoma to Olympia is still doing pretty good at 40 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And your forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunshine sticking around for a few more hours. Then tomorrow, partly cloudy skies, highs back in the mid-40s. Right now, 46 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Jake and Spike Show. I'm Spike O'Neill, Jake Skorheim's home with family. Right now, I want to take a moment to celebrate a Seattle icon. Seattle's known for some amazing things, you know, our waterfront, of course, the Space Needle, and Canlis, one of the world's leading historically legendary eateries, restaurants, fine dining. I mean, fine dining. Of your 36 years, I've been to Canlis twice. It's for very special occasions. Our 25th wedding anniversary was spent at Canlis. And it's moments like that, you know, when you have something that needs to be special, you trust people who you know are going to do the job. And that's Canlis. So joining us now, one of the owners, Mark Canlis, is on the phone with us. Mark, welcome to the show.
Hey, Spike. Thanks for having me on.
My pleasure. Thanks for first off sticking with the industry. I know it's an incredibly tough industry. I've got some friends who own restaurants. One guy owns several, and it's one of the thinnest margin businesses you can run, and it's getting tougher every day, especially in Seattle.
Payments for thin margins. Yeah, it is. It's tough everywhere. I mean, across the country, Seattle. Maybe a little tougher than average, I guess, by the numbers. But those of us who do it, we do it because we love it. And we figure the margins out somehow on the other side. So, you know, there's a way through it. And even in this economy, I think there's a way through it.
Well, one of the ways restaurateurs, you know, get through it, as you mentioned, is that they start cutting corners. And you guys have never done that. I think that's why people trust you and count on you for delivering the service and the cuisine you've always done.
That's as kind of you to say that. It's a big piece of who we are. I mean, you mentioned fine dining, and every time I hear that, I'm always like, okay, what even is fine dining, especially anymore, right? Because there's so many restaurants, the food is so good.
Yeah, I think all dining should be fine dining. You know, yeah. No matter what you're eating with.
I kind of think of it as like fine caring. You know what I mean? I think in these restaurants, ones like ours or those that are at the higher end of the price point, I think what we're really talking about is having the time and space and margin to really care for people in a way that they want to be cared for, and in a way that makes us feel good. And I don't know if there's cutting corners on people. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not something that we want to do. It's not how I want to be treated, and it's not what Canlis stands for. So we go to the nth degree to try to make it special. And I know that a lot of people think fine dining is dead. I don't think making people feel special is going anywhere anytime soon. That's just a part of, I think, the DNA of our city, our nation, who we are as a society. So,
well said, man. I couldn't agree more. I know you guys, you've had challenges. They all, in your industry more so than others.
Sure.
But you guys are now, it's the third generation of ownership for the Canlis family.
Crazy, right? Fourth, if you include my great grandparents actually had a restaurant in 1910. So it wasn't called Canlis. So we always say third in this restaurant, but it's 4 generations in our family of someone trying to figure out, how to run a restaurant. And I do feel like it's an everyday. I feel like we're figuring it out every day. That it's just something you practice at, So we're getting the hang of it. We're getting pretty good.
I think you got it.
It's a one meal at a time, one night at a time type thing.
I know you did something very special on December 11th. You guys were celebrating your 75th anniversary at the location right there on Aurora Avenue. You're in the catbird seat. You're looking over Lake Union and Gasworks Park. I mean, my wife, when we celebrated our 25th, my wife said there's only one place I want to go, and it was Canlis.
I heard in the intro, you guys are regulars, right? So this is how I think of it. Every what is that? Every 16 years? Did you say you've come twice?
Exactly.
32 years or something?
Well, we'll celebrate our 35th next year, and I know where she wants to go, so I'll give you a call ahead of time. What did you guys do? Tell us what you did for your guests on the 75th.
So it's a tradition my grandfather started, which was to use big anniversaries, big birthdays, to do something to give back to the community that has supported us. And my parents, who ran this place for more than 30 years, they carried that tradition on. I did it with my brother for a long time, but this December 11th was our 75th birthday, and we just thought, wouldn't it be fun to say thanks to the city by surprising them with a menu that was priced like our menu was in 1950. So the food was modern, but the pricing was very of another time and place. And it was a lot of fun. They didn't know. They sat down at the table. They're all thinking it was a normal meal. We didn't tell them when they made the reservation. We didn't tell them until we handed the menu to them. And we just said, hey, for our birthday, we want to give you, the city, a present. We just priced this true to how it would have been in 1950, which was so fun.
The duck dinner cost $2.50. Totally. I saw that in the story. That is just the most beautiful thing to do. That
was the first course. They got more expensive. The pork was $4.
Oh my gosh, you're a backbreaker.
And the sable fish was $3.50. So but the souffle and the desserts were down in the 80-cent to $1.25 range. So we try to make it. Isn't that wild how things have changed in 75 years?
Their home probably cost them $3,000 back in 1950.
Yeah, totally.
That multi-million-dollar view home. And now you guys, I imagine, being in that location for as long as you have, I imagine you've had to fend off offers from big corporate, restaurant groups and. Oh, sure. Yeah,
sure. Developers and that kind of thing that come along and want to turn your restaurant into a condo or something like that. It's a real threat. My brothers and I had to were sort of we had the opportunity, but we didn't really have another option. We were sort of forced to buy this land back when everyone was developing Highway 99 or the option, or they were going to tear the restaurant down. So we actually have been working to pay off a mortgage all through that pandemic and other times, and that's how we've been able to save the restaurant from sort of what the other development that's happening around the city. But no, it's an incredible location, and it was a gift to my grandfather. He wanted to build this restaurant in downtown Seattle, and no one would give him a loan or the opportunity or a space. And so there was a guy, his name was Walter Clark. He's just a legend in Seattle, a restaurant legend from the 40s and 50s, who said, I've got a place way outside of town. And my grandfather said, well, as long as it's within a $1 cab ride of the city, I think people will come. So this was considered, way outside of Seattle.
Yeah, you were on the outskirts of town, the north edge of Queen Anne was the out. That's so funny. Hey, you mentioned a pandemic. I know you guys had to really really put your thinking caps on to get through what did you guys do during the pandemic that helped you guys stay afloat?
A lot of us in this family are former military. And so we just looked at our mission statement as a company and said, do we need to be open as a restaurant to complete the mission? And the answer was no. So our mission is to inspire people to turn toward one another. And I thought the pandemic was a great opportunity to lean into that. And so we just did anything we could to keep our staff employed. And that ended up looking like 18 different business models and being closed for 471 days. So we didn't operate as a fine dining restaurant for much longer than a year, but the city really just came around all these crazy ideas we had. And it was a joy to kind of touch base in a time when people were having a hard time, being in a relationship, staying in a relationship, feeling community. Man, Canlis had an opportunity just to reach out and be present with so many in the city. It was a difficult time for many, and also for us and the team, it was a really special time.
I'm so glad that you did, and I love what you've done for this city and with this city over all these years. I didn't want to bring it up, but there was a scathing review of your restaurant in the Seattle Times eating section. Yeah. And I'm like, what do these people want? That's a rough one. That's something else. Something else is going on in that one. How do you compete with, or how do you survive all these? I mean, a terrible review can be the death knell for a restaurant. What do you learn from that? How do you adjust to that?
Sure. I think, I learned this lesson from James, Chef James, and was talking it through with him just recently. And he said, Mark, the way that I think of these is we're but learners. We're learners. We got to be open to feedback. We don't want to be hard-hearted. We want to be soft-hearted. We want to be the kind of people that will receive a difficult word. And I think that's, look, I love the Seattle Times. We need newspapers. We need reporting and good reporting.
Yeah.
We need those people doing their job. And just because the chips didn't fall our way, and I know Bethany, and she didn't like dinner. Okay. She wrote about it. Yeah, that's devastating to business, and also not the first time this restaurant has had a hard review. So I think the moment is to take an honest look in the mirror and to say, are we working as hard as we possibly can to take care of our guests? And my answer to that question, Spike, is yes, we absolutely are. And maybe we missed on a meal for her. But I'm a huge believer in what we're doing and where we're going with this team. I'm a huge believer in James and the food he's putting out there. And if we missed on a meal, then that's on me, and I'll own that. And also I believe deeply that this place is worth it. And if the Seattle Times doesn't think so, we'll invite them back in and see if we can make them.
That's the perfect answer, my friend. Mark Canlis, thank you so much for the time. Best of everything and best of luck to you guys. We'll talk to you again soon, my friend. Best of everything. Happy New Year to you and the family at Canlis.
Cheers. Happy New Year.
Thanks, brother. All right, we'll be right back after these, folks. Don't go anywhere.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-897-4400. That's 800-897-4400.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Charlie's battery is struggling to start. Not ideal before the tailgate, so he goes to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone,
where a friendly AutoZoner tests his battery for free. Looks like he needs a new one, so he gets a Duralast battery.
Have fun and stay warm.
And he makes it to the tailgate early enough to get his favorite spot. Free battery testing and charging. No hassles, just help. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
CVS Health supports people in the moments that matter, from picking up a prescription to connecting care. With nearly 5 million daily interactions and serving 185 million consumers and 1.5 million healthcare professionals, CVS Health holds a trusted place in healthcare. By simplifying care and improving health, we're helping people get the care they need. Learn more at cvshealth.com/Investor Day.
Looking for something new? Try fencing, the Olympic and Paralympic sport that mixes speed, strategy, and fun. It's like chess meets cardio. Quick feet, quick decisions, and a satisfying beat when you score a point. Kids, teens, and adults can start anytime. No experience needed, and many clubs have loaner gear. Coaches teach fundamentals and safety from day one. Find a beginner class near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing. That's usafencing.org/tryfencing.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Breast cancer is a tough battle for anyone to fight. But when you can't work, care for your kids, or even put food on the table, that diagnosis can be devastating. I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda, a plastic surgeon who is proud to support Northwest Hope and Healing. Our mission is to provide a lifeline for breast and gynecologic cancer patients. We cover essentials like food, utilities, and childcare, so patients can focus on healing. For more than 25 years, Northwest Hope and Healing has distributed over $3 million to thousands of local cancer patients, and you can help make a difference in our community. Join us on Saturday, January 31st, for Cork, Fork, and Support, an afternoon of fine wine, gourmet cuisine, and inspiration at Mary Hill Winery in the heart of Woodinville wine country. Get your tickets now for Cork, Fork, and Support on January 31st. Go to nwhopeandhealing.org to learn more. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
Start the new year taking active liver supplements from New Nordic. Online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com or at CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery, or Wegmans.
It's Subaru season, and now is the time to upgrade. During the Share the Love event, Subaru will donate $350 to charity for every new vehicle purchased. Visit SubaruofPuyallup.com.
I love the fact that Mike Novak sells more homes than anybody else. This guy works so hard. You know what's happening? People are selling their homes again. And if you don't have Mike Novak's name on that sign, well, you're wasting your time and your house is just going to be sitting on the market. Mike is so confident that he can sell your house quickly. And for more, you'll pay no commission if Mike Novak doesn't sell that home in 21 days. So go to meetthenovaks.com. I'll spell Novaks for you. Novaks. Meetthenovaks.com.
All right. Oh, we did it. Thanks for joining us today, folks. We appreciate you giving us a little bit of afternoon. We've had fun doing this today. Laura, some surprise guests. Really pulled it out today.
Thanks.
I appreciate that.
I'm not slacking.
No, not at all.
On a holiday week.
I am. And I admit that I am. I didn't want to be here today.
Someone has to.
Someone has to. And thanks for letting me live a little bit of some of my funnest memories about Seattle and play some Twisted Tunes. Let's read the text of the day if we can start this off.
Yeah, on Twisted Tunes. Irene from Tacoma says, I enjoyed hearing the stories about Twisted Tunes. I was wondering if Bob ever met Weird Al, that other prolific parody song artist.
We had the honor of interviewing Weird Al a couple times over the years. Because he travels and he plays the Puyallup. I think he's playing the Puyallup again this September coming up. It was great, though, because as prolific and successful as Weird Al Yankovic has been, when he was on the interview, he said, I'm a big fan of the work you guys do. He goes, I couldn't tell you how many times people have complimented me on songs that I made. And I said, no, that one's Bob Rivers.
No way.
Yeah, which is really sweet.
That's a compliment.
Isn't that a wonderful thing to hear? On the Kennedy Center getting Trump's name slapped on it and the artists canceling their concerts, I may have, just leaned into my personal opinions on this one. I appreciate you guys indulging me, and a lot of you agree with what I had to say about the situation. Some of you didn't, and we'd like to convey both of your sentiments. Janet in the 206 says, Oy vey, what's next? Trump's face on a Wheaties box after the Olympics? I guarantee you there'll be some type of medal or award presented to Donald Trump during the 2026 Olympics.
You're calling it now.
I'm calling it now with like the FIFA Peace Prize that Trump received.
Kyle in Bellingham says the artist signed a contract with the Kennedy Center. Now it's a new organization. Contract's not valid.
Ooh, it's good.
I like that.
Brian in Bellingham says, I may not agree with everything President Trump does, but as for his presidency, wow, the man is on fire and he's done amazing things for this country. One of the most beautiful things about being an American is the fact that it's okay for me to disagree with you, Spike, but I will never shame you for having a different opinion from my own. And Brian in Bellingham, thank you. I appreciate that as well. Jake and I disagree on a lot of things, but we try to make it our mission to be respectful and open-minded. And, everybody's got a point of view, and a lot of it's valid, mine or anybody else's.
On Christmas scratch-off stocking stuffers, Jess in Utah says, gambling is illegal in Utah. We moved here per my husband's work contract, and we're moving back to Washington in the summer. Thank goodness. We miss home.
They miss Utah? Oh, he's in Utah. Oh, he's not great. Jess is in Utah now.
Utah.
Well, we'll welcome you back with open arms, and then we'll tax you into oblivion. On Laura's grandma, a flu season survivor, your grandma Peg might be that might be my sweetest surprise of the entire year, not just the holiday season.
When you asked her about her favorite memories with me, I almost started crying when she shared her. I'm going to cry again just thinking about it.
She's like, there wasn't one. They're all wonderful memories. And
are you kidding me?
She harkened back to the first time she saw your face.
Yeah. What?
Brian
Not a dry in the house.
Brian from Arlington said, that was some heartwarming stuff right there. I'm going to go get me a flu shot. Good for you, Brian.
Mike in Puyallup says, pretty funny hearing Spike being mothered by Laura's grandma, knowing how much fathering he's offered to Laura in the past.
Yep. Irene from Tacoma says, Grandma Peg needs to be a regular guest for book chats and chats in general. She is delightful, and I couldn't agree more.
On the theft of 2 mandolins, which were later returned, Doug in Mount Vernon says, mandolin theft when you sober up and realize your resolution to learn to play an instrument wasn't going to happen.
What do I do with these? And they're too hot to sell because they've been all over social media. And Dana says, put it best. The note with return mandolins should have just said, sorry, I'm an idiot.
There you go.
End of story.
Yep.
Folks, we've had a wonderful time today. I hope you had fun with us. We're going to be tomorrow I'm going to be enjoying a day. Laura's put together a best of 2025 show for us.
It'll be really fun.
She'll
Don't
be
miss
here.
it.
Yeah, so thank you all very much for your time. The John Curley Show is in next. John's in live. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Hey, this is Sully. This is Nate. And we're from the traffic desk, as you know. I get you to work in the morning.
I try to get you home in the afternoon.
Yeah, try is right. A little harder in the afternoon, I've noticed, when I fill in for you than in the mornings.
Yeah. Well, it's the people I work with, I think.
Yeah, that's probably it. This time of year, I want to tell you how much we kind of feel honored to do what we can to help you guys out. Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year.
From the whole team at mynorthwest.com and KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
I got to tell you something, Nick. I have really noticed a difference in your energy level since you started going to the Longevity Medical Clinic.
And you know why?
Why?
Because they actually balanced my hormone levels. And when they do that, the largest change I noticed was that now I could sleep.
And then not only get more sleep, to just get more energy, right?
Right. So that all of a sudden that resulted in me, I started running again and doing all these things that I felt so fatigued throughout the day that I couldn't do anymore.
Okay, so at this point, do you want to apologize to me? Because I was always saying to you, every time you say, I don't sleep, I don't feel well, I feel kind of off, I go, well, you need to get in touch with Longevity Medical Clinic. And you were always like, blah, 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 blah.
I know. But now it's turned into something fun that we get to go in together.
So I need to hear, you were right.
You were right.
You were right. I should have gone to Longevity Medical Clinic.
I should have.
There we go. Fine.
Yes.
You know the right thing to do. Get in touch with Longevity Medical Clinic. Take the free health analysis at lmclinic.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Guys, if your energy is low, your strength isn't what it used to be, or your drive feels off, it's not just getting older. For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, you can start with a free T-check, exam, and consultation, so you get real answers about your testosterone levels and overall health. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. This isn't guesswork or one-size-fits-all treatment. Revive specializes in personalized, closely monitored testosterone care designed to help men feel stronger, sharper, and more like themselves again. With over 120,000 patients treated since 2011, Revive Men's Health is trusted for results, not hype. If you've been putting this off, now is the time to act. Claim your free T-check and consultation and see if you qualify for 25% off TRT. This month only. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply, must medically qualify.
Boy, am I glad to be done with my holiday shopping.
Oh, I know.
And now I just want to relax.
Me too. Well, except there's one more store we should check out.
Oh, no way.
Because this week, we can get a Samsung, LG, or Sony TV at an incredible price.
Really? Where?
At Video Only's year-end clearance sale. They're really cutting deals.
Because the holidays are over?
Yep. So this is our chance to get what we wanted for Christmas.
Are the prices really that good?
Yes. For 7 days they are. And Video Only has those top-rated models we were thinking about all on sale.
All right. The best stuff cheap is worth a trip.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.